Yo, 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 what up, what up, what up? It's your boy Rep Milwaukee 414, man, back in the building, straight from Sneakerheads Color Line, man. Y'all know what it is every Tuesday night, 7:30-ish. We in the building, man. Sneakerheads Clothing Line Radio live, man. As you guys can see, it's just me. You know what I'm saying? The rest of the squad will be here pretty soon, man. Y'all know how it is. Black folks, we always on CP. Tizine. You understand me? But I got the homie special guest with me in the building tonight, man. The homie Lamar, man. Go ahead and
Gang,
let him
gang,
know who
gang.
you are. Let him know who you are, Rick.
Yo, Lamar Clothing repping Kansas City, Kansas, not Missouri, just so y'all know. Holding down the Midwest. Of course, I travel, everything like that. See me at SneakerCon, see me at all the small events. They having an event, you'll catch me in your town straight up. Find me on R. Lamar Clothing on Instagram, rlamarclothing.com online.
Yeah, we most definitely gonna get into it about our Lamar clothing, man. If y'all do remember, man, I had Rick on I did an actual a special show called Boss Talk Live
Yeah.
where it was me, Rick, Figs from 89, the owner of 89. Just three bosses, and then we also had AJ in the building. So technically, really four bosses. We was just talking about ownership. We was talking about each other's brands, how we got started, etc., etc. That was about 3 months ago. That I actually did that, and I'm actually trying to work on another episode of that to get that popping, man. Once again, because we got a good response off of that. But most definitely, I wanted to bring Rick back again, man, so we can, personally talk about our Lamar clothing, man. Talk about his collection. Man, as y'all can see, that's just like 5% of his collection right there behind him right there. But Rick is known. If you guys don't know, man, make sure y'all check out his Instagram. Rick is known for being a University of North Carolina Tar Heel fanatic. And on top of that, the man has the biggest Tar Heel sneaker collection.
Yes,
We
sir.
talking about samples, PEs, whatever, whatever. This man is like Jumpman Bostic of North Carolina Tar Heel
Whew, that's
memorabilia.
that's good company right there, boy. Let me
Hey, no,
tell
that's
you.
a fact. That's a fact, man. So most definitely, that's what I wanted to get into, man. We can go ahead and get into it. When did you start getting into Tar Heel Nation?
Ooh, man, I've been a fan of North Carolina since '95. Like when I heard the story about Michael Jordan wearing his North Carolina shorts underneath his game shorts when he played for the Bulls,
Yeah,
finding out that he went to the University of North Carolina. I'm Let me rewind. I'm not a new fan, but
yeah,
I did have to see the man play and be born into it. So I didn't fall in love with like being like Mike until I was 10 years old. And after that, it was over. And, before Nikes and before Jordans, I was just like everybody else. I was getting shoes from the half price store. I was
hmm,
getting shoes. I was wearing Avivas. I was wearing Attack Force. I couldn't wear my shoes at the Boys and Girls Club because they're leaving marks on the floor. So I had to play ball on my socks. So I don't want anybody to be like, man, my guy, he just was born into it. Nah, I was there with the struggle and everything like that. But my very first pair of shoes was the 1995 powder blue tins. So
mm,
my very first pair out the gate was a North Carolina shoe. And ever
yeah.
since then, if everybody remembers when Jordans came out, there was only 5 or 6 colorways a year,
Man, if that,
if that. So you know what I'm saying? I had to choose which one it was I was going to get. Am I getting a playoff? Am I getting an OG? Am I
yeah.
getting a Carolina? Am I getting an All Star?
And
So I had to choose.
they didn't always come out with a Carolina colorway. That was it. They'd be random if they did a Carolina colorway.
Oh yeah,
It was normally like you got the home and away, you got the playoff, and maybe something else random
you
to
got
do
the
like
you
a
got the All Star. Like I can
yeah, yeah,
remember
yeah,
back then when my first pair being the tens. The second pair of North Carolina shoes that came out were at that particular time the Columbias that came
yeah,
out in '96. I
yeah.
did have those, and then the year after that, were the 12s, of
Yeah.
course, and I chose to get the Taxi 12s.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, and when I got the 11s, I ended up getting the Bread 11s as well. So I got the Bread 11s, the Columbias. I felt like a baller. I got 2 pair in a year.
Yeah.
And then after that, I couldn't rock with the Obsidians because it was the Obsidian 12s. And I was like, man, there ain't enough Carolina on there. I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
just get the Taxi 12. So I did. And crazy story is, bro, matter of fact, over here, I still have my Taxi 12, my original Taxi 12, size 9.5, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Now,
so
now, Rick, so I know you remember the era. So tell me in Kansas, because I always tell folks in Milwaukee, even back then, Jordans was selling out, and people be like, "Man, they weren't selling out back then." I'd be like, "Man, I don't know nothing about that. Y'all was living good because in Milwaukee, they was selling out, and if they sold out, and somebody told us like in Chicago, like they still got something, we would drive to Chicago
yeah.
to get lucky, maybe." You know what I'm saying, or whatever. It's most definitely different nowadays about so many different resources and the internet and all that good stuff, whatever. But back in the day, like you had to know somebody that knows somebody, and
Oh
then it would
yeah.
be like, yo, man, I know somebody in Seattle that knows somebody in Albuquerque that knows somebody in, whatever, whatever.
Yeah, those were the Nike Talk days, man. Like
Yeah,
if you didn't know a store manager or have a friend on Nike Talk, you was just asked out. Like you couldn't trust eBay back then. Back then you
no.
couldn't trust eBay like that. Like you'd
Hmm.
be like, oh yeah, man, this shoe. That's when there was sites. You know what I'm saying? They
Yeah,
have all the Gucci Jordans and the
yeah,
wild color
yeah,
11s. You'd be like, I think these is real. I'm gonna fuck with them.
yeah,
You thought that you could do it, but
yeah.
unfortunately, I'm gonna be showing my age. We didn't even have Saturday releases back in my day.
Yeah.
It was a weekday release.
And that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the OG stuff. I'm talking about
Yes,
96, 95, 94. I'm talking about actual Jordan playing days to where the internet was just literally invented, but it was
watch,
dial up. It was,
bro.
it
Watch
was
this. I'm
AOL.
about to make you laugh. I'm about to make you laugh. I'm talking about. I used to go get Jordans and would sit down and try on Jordans next to somebody else trying on a pair of and ones to get a mixtape.
Yep.
Yeah, you try this
Hey,
and one on, and you go
hey,
get a mixtape.
Hey, no, that's a fact because I used to work at Foot Action, and Foot Action was the only ones that actually did the and one mixtape.
Mhm.
They had the exclusive, and man, I'm talking about folks used to come in there, and it was like a Jordan, literally like a Jordan release. That mixtape came out that day, and it would only be a couple tapes. We talking VHS tapes. We ain't talking
Yes,
Blu-ray and all that. Y'all know nothing about that.
yes.
VHS tapes. It would only be a couple of them in the store, and you already gotta take out each employee getting their own tape. You know what
Exactly.
I'm saying? So we all get our own tape, and then for the public, man, it would only be like 4 tapes left. 4 tapes.
Not only that, bro. We're talking about the days where Jordan had jeans.
Yeah, yeah,
Jordan
yeah.
Jordan had a whole lifestyle edition. Matter of fact, watch this, man. I'm really showing my age now. Damn, I feel old right now, man. Got me in my bag. This is,
Oh snap!
bruh. This is the OG book from 2001.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I
This
remember
is
that
what people
too.
used to line up for, bruh.
Yep,
These and the Spike magazines.
yep, yep.
I remember. Let me find a page that sticks out to people.
Man, I went to prom in in a Jordan tuxedo.
And a Jordan, how you get a Jordan tuxedo?
Man, they was back then Jordan had tuxedos. Remember, matter of fact, because remember when Jordan came out with the Concord, the OG Concord, the press release was in a tuxedo.
It
Jordan
was.
Jordan had his own tuxedo line back then. Matter of fact, it came out the same time. Jordan had his own tuxedo, and remember he came out with the cologne at the same time.
I remember the cologne because the cologne had the Jordan 11 bottom.
Yep, yep. So that's what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying. You got the Concord. The Concord rolled out the tuxedo and the cologne. I wasn't messing with that cologne though, but
Bro, that cologne was fresh. That's what you
I
talk about.
wasn't I
Hey,
wasn't
I
messing with that
guarantee
cologne.
you right now, that cologne costs $200 because of this damn Last Dance. You can't buy nothing
Oh
right
yeah,
now that's
nah,
Michael Jordan related.
you can't buy nothing right now. It's like Kobe dead all over again. Like you can't buy
Man,
nothing Jordan related, like for real. But back then, that cologne was at Burlington Coat Factory. Like it
I
was,
was getting at a half price store.
yeah, it was everywhere. It was at, and man, I mean, even recently, not too long ago, it was at Ross and all type of stuff. But ever since Last Dance, once again, you can't find no Jordan stuff like that, no memorabilia that was just sitting anywhere, like nowhere right now. But yeah, I still got my Jordan. I bought it. I was supposed to rent it, and I ended up buying it. Like, nah, bruh.
You
'Cause
got the
it was,
Jordan suit?
yeah. I got the Jordan tuxedo.
I gotta try that on.
It's all white. It's the all white joint.
Hold
I
on.
got,
Does it look like how he looks in the Last Dance? Like you look like an old crime boss when you wear it?
nah. I seen you my old high school prime picture of it. You can see it. It's but I mean, you know how it was in the '90s. Though it ain't like it's tapered or nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like at
That
you
mug,
know.
hey, I know that mug. You look like you was drafted in the NBA back in the day
Yeah,
with
yeah,
some
yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
straight up, straight up. You look like an old
Hey, I look
'90s
like
crime
hey,
boss.
remember LeBron James on draft day?
Oh
Like,
my
yeah,
god,
like that.
I can't even deal, bro. Them the 2000s. Oh my goodness.
Man, I'm trying to tell you, bro. So yeah, man. So okay, let's get into it. So North Carolina, get back to it, man. How many do you know how many pairs that you have North Carolina related?
Related, well, I have them all sectioned in
Yeah,
their
yeah,
own little. In their own little. Let's see if I can. No, yeah. So you see all those black ones over there?
yeah.
Those are all North Carolinas.
Mm-hmm.
They got their own little section. They get to shine by themselves.
Yeah.
I would probably say 50, maybe 50 pair in North
So
Carolina.
50 pairs.
Yeah,
And so
somewhere around there.
I know you built a lot of relationships with different rosters throughout the years, different team members and people that played for North Carolina. What like who have you like built relationships with throughout the years that's played for the team?
You know what? What's crazy is that before,
'Cause they wear your stuff.
before, before, before 2 years ago, bro, I didn't know not nobody on the team, not a soul.
Okay.
A lot of my good friends are alum.
Hmm.
I won't name drop just for their sake, but
Yeah.
some of them have won titles at North Carolina.
Yeah.
Um, Pretty much at the end of the day, man, they people too.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, they put their pants on just like I do. They love shoes just like I do. They love fashion just like I do. And it's not just a business, transaction, regardless of what it comes down to.
Yeah. Hmm.
That's the school I rock with. So just knowing somebody that went to that school is super duper humbling. And I end up becoming friends with them, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the biggest thing for me is relationships. I'd rather have you as a friend for a long time than a business transaction for a short time.
Hmm.
So, that was my biggest thing going into it. I remember one gentleman, I hit him up, jumped in his DMs. I'm like, man, can I send you a shirt? And he's like, man, I can buy a shirt. I got money. I don't need you to send me nothing. I was
Yeah.
like, all
Yeah.
right, cool. And sent him a shirt. And that situation turned into opening doors for other, former players that I've become friends with, man. And it's super duper humbling. The other day I was talking to one gentleman. We was on the phone for a hot 2 hours just talking basketball, just in general.
Okay.
And I mean, how many people can say they talking to, former alum talking basketball about, yo, why was this dude like this? What happened when you was there type stuff.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
So that's super humbling. And some are like, bro, how the hell you get those? Like, I ain't even got those and I played there. I was like, mind your business now. Mind your business. Can't talk about it. Just mind your
Yeah,
business.
yeah. Cause I know a lot of people don't know or whatever, but like we said, your North Carolina collection is pretty uh exclusive. Like I know
Right.
you got a lot of different samples and P's and different things like that. What is some of your prized possessions that you got?
Well, the main one for me, the one that hit close to home was those UNC threes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The UNC threes, those is hit different. Everybody can sit up here and talk till they blue in the face about,
And
the
not the ones
retros
that
that
didn't
came
and not
out.
and yeah, I was gonna say not the one that everybody got this year. You got the
Yeah, man, everybody, and when there was speculation about those coming out, everybody in all the shoe groups were tagging me, and it was like, bro, I bet you feel stupid because you dropped this on that, and they're coming out with them. No, because it's not the same,
not the same at
and
all.
it's not the same. And you as a person, you can't say nothing because you don't have the shoe to compare.
Yeah.
You can't be like, all right, well, this is different, that's different. Luckily, I have both of them. So at that particular point, I was super duper humble to have the UNC 3. And just so y'all know, I'm not the guy that buys shoes and just let them sit. I wear all my shoes. Jason can attest to that. If I get it, I'm a rocket. Ain't gonna be none of that. I'm just gonna put this on ice. Nah,
Yeah.
catch me at your local SneakerCon, and I'll be rocking that shit.
Yeah, that's a fact.
The threes were my babies. The 13s were my babies
13s is
before the
hard.
threes. Yeah, the highs and the lows, both of them. I mean,
Yeah.
the 13 highs, they're so old. Like we're talking about before the Ray Allen 13s.
Yeah, yep.
So we're talking '05. So I mean, it's a 15-year-old shoe, and it was worn on court. So I
It's
don't know how
hard
much
though.
I don't know how much life is left in it.
Yeah,
They still look good. They look good sitting there. I worn them about
yeah.
one or two times, and then I see something. I'm like, oh, whoa, hey, give my flops, give. I can't be messing around. But
Man, you gotta do that. You gotta do that jump, man. Bostic method, man, and wear them once a year, so the outsole that glue stay
you
intact.
know what? I do. That is one thing that I picked up from him. Coming into the game, he's given me so much knowledge and welcomed me in as an individual. To say that me and him are friends is super humbling.
That's a fact.
But I mean, there's North Carolina stuff that I've gotten from him. Of course, it wasn't PEs, but it was UNC related. And I mean, same thing goes for me. If I come across something Michigan, because he's a big Wolverine fan,
Yeah,
I'm gonna be like, yo, I got this. Do you want it? I know that's your school. But I make sure that I wear my shoes. I put the towel down in the car. I know that's a Jumpman Bostic move, so you don't get it on your heel crease or whatnot. So man, I try to do all the little tips and tricks,
do
and
you rap them too? You rap them like he do?
I don't
That's
I
one thing I
don't wrap
don't do.
them.
Yeah, that's one thing I don't do either.
Yeah, I don't wrap them. Actually, believe it or not, the setup behind me,
Yeah,
that's blessings of Jumpman Bostic, man. He introduced me to the right people, so I was able
yeah,
to sit at the table. You know what I'm saying, with you and AJ and Break,
yeah,
which was
yeah.
super duper humbling. So every time I get a chance to say something about that, I definitely do.
Yeah. Yeah, for everybody that don't know, how me and Rick actually first met, we haven't known each other long, whatever. But since the day that we met, we've been brothers, like literally ever since. We talk on a weekly basis, man. Just being two black business owners, outside of that, like we just we connect, instantly. So when we all met in SneakerCon Dallas, even before SneakerCon Dallas is when we met. We met at the Container Store headquarters, and we were at the luncheon that they had for us, and that's when me and Rick met.
Mm-hmm.
And man, and we hit it off ever since then. And I didn't know nothing at all about Rick at all. Like I didn't know about his collection with North Carolina. I didn't know about his affiliation with North Carolina at all. That was after the fact, whatnot. Matter of fact, let me get Q in here. What up, Q?
What happening?
Hey.
What up,
So
though?
What's going on, Big Daddy?
Chilling over here. He got me feeling like a kid showing my collection off.
Man, look, I'm just trying to get your shoulders. That's all. Do your thing. Do your thing, man. Go on.
Hey, I just want to get into one sneaker battle. I've been waiting. Won't nobody let me in.
Listen, we got you. We got it handled. Don't worry about it.
Thank you. See, I like her. She gets stuff done.
It's under control now.
I asked Jason. He like, hey man, let me see the schedule's packed. I gotta see who we going against. You giving me the runaround. But no, these was my babies, man.
Yeah.
These were my baby, and like I told you, I wear my stuff
with the logo.
So those were the second babies. These were the first babies, right?
Yeah.
Taking it back.
And I don't know if you can see that Argyle print.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah, that's Argyle print all up and down there. Wore them, of course. But the granddaddy,
Get the
these
high.
ones are so sexy.
Oh my
God, man.
He went and did that, huh?
Yeah, man.
I had to. I ain't even been out the house to even wear these yet. I may wear them to sleep. I don't know.
That also, man, that make me nervous.
Man,
that I know I'm gonna have to soul protect them or something. But
yeah,
these right here, these is near dead. I hold these like my kids. Like
I bet.
Yeah, these make me happy. Those make me happy.
I'm so clean, man.
It's fire. Yeah.
Hey, next up, I got something up my sleeve. I can't tell you yet, but it's coming.
And that's just a small little taste of what Rick got, man, when it comes to his PEs and sample situation when it comes to North Carolina, man. Your collection is crazy. Q, I was just telling everybody how me and Rick met, which was this past summer in Dallas. You know, when you first chimed in. And you know, we hit it off ever since then, and we talk on a weekly basis, me and Rick, man. But I didn't even know about his North Carolina affiliation, and you know how much he is a fan. And so once I found out about his collection and found out about everything, and me and Rick got to talking, I was just like, man, I ain't even know nothing about all of this now. Like, hey, all right.
Don't nobody know about. I mean,
if you really, it's his stature. Yeah. When I met him, I thought he was a bodyguard.
Yeah. He is a bodyguard. He is a bodyguard.
I didn't know he was a sneakerhead. I just thought he was sitting over there next to what's my man, the little short dude from Wild 'N Out. What's my man name?
Oh, Conceited.
Yeah, he's sitting over there with Conceited. I'm like, who you guarding today?
Yeah, man. I'm real. Like if I don't know people, I'm real silent. Like I'm just cooling, just minding my business. Now once I get to know you. Mm-hmm. Oh, it's game time. Go! I'm talking all types of shit. I'm having fun. We laughing. Absolutely. But if you don't know me, you don't know what it is that I bring to the table, what I have. And I mean, you think about it. You think of Kansas. You don't think of no sneakerhead. It's pretty much me putting Kansas on the map. You know, me traveling to DC, me traveling to Atlanta, Houston, Chicago. Nobody else is doing that. It's just me. And so if I got to put the state on my back. And let people know, yo, we got sneakerheads out here in Kansas as well. Then so be it. Now I don't know if SneakerCon ever gonna come to Kansas, but
nope.
At least nope. Don't say. I mean, even though I'm not a Chiefs fan, I mean, we got the champs. It's not like we just trash out here in Kansas City.
What do you know about the scene? Well, obviously you're from Kansas, so. What is the scene like in Kansas when it comes to the sneaker culture? Because that'll be the first question.
Right. It's very diverse with the relationships that I've built outside of Kansas. I don't really mess with a lot of Kansas City people.
Okay.
Just because I know other people outside of here. So if I don't have to mess with somebody here so that they know where I stay at, or they know my business. Yeah. If you only know me from Facebook and Instagram, then I did my job.
Yeah.
You know, compared to me knowing Jason, me knowing you, me knowing Jumpman Bostic, me knowing the Perfect Pair, me knowing them people and having that relationship with people is perfectly okay with me because I'm not trying to be a big fish, little pond. I'd rather be known outside of Kansas than just Kansas.
Okay. And I asked that because I'm wondering, like, what's the opportunities that maybe you've seen that are available there? Like, have you seen any opening to possibly doing an event of your own, or you know?
Me myself, you know, I've seen what goes into it. Back in the day, I was really close with the owner of DXC. the Dunk Exchange, and he wanted to do a little something here.
Okay.
And at that particular time, we had a group here, and they didn't want to mix, so to say. Like, they had their own brand, and they wanted to stay that way. So I just try to stay in my lane and my business. You know, everybody has their groups, their cliques and stuff. I'm just a lone wolf out here, minding my business, staying in my lane. Shout out, you know, KC Sneaker Laundry. He's part of the team. Every shoe that I got, he cleans for me. He deoxidizes, re-ices, the whole shebang. So besides him, I really keep to myself here in Kansas City.
Okay. That's kind of that's disappointing, but I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, it happens, but like I said, I'd rather, you know, go to Houston or go to Dallas or go to Chicago, whatever the situation is, because I'm old. I don't do nothing no way. All I do is take care of the kids and work out and go work. That's it.
I hear it. I hear you. I hear you. Cool.
So Rick, also, like, when did you start Lamar Clothing? What year did you start?
You know what? This year, I think it's about to be 3 years this summer.
This summer it'll be
If
3
I
years?
think about it correctly.
Okay.
This summer it'll be 3 years.
2017?
Damn, I've been doing this a long ass time. Yeah.
No,
It was all,
you.
and you know what? It was completely an accident, bro. Like, I didn't even want to do it. Like, I was cool. I worked for a brand called the Retro Kings, and they're based out of California.
Yeah.
And I was a brand ambassador. He put me on the team. He was like, look, I'm going to make these shirts. You pop them off. I'm like, all right, cool. Let's do it. And then one day he gave me the baby boy. He just pushed me out the nest. He was like, yo, I'm done. I'm like, bro, you can't quit. Like, I'm eating off you. You can't just stop. Like, bro, I'm done. And I had to find out, bro. That's when I had to find out, you know, the quality of shirts, the prints, the minimums, DTG, screen printing, all here local. And I just told y'all, I don't mess with nobody up here. So I had to find all that out by myself and build a brand for nothing, straight from the mud.
Yeah.
So it was hard, man. It was hard, but it's definitely been well worth it.
Yeah.
The reciprocation that I get from my clients, like, I have people asking me to make stuff when I don't even want to make nothing. You know what? I told you I'm not a Chiefs fan. I'm a Tennessee Titans fan. To the day I die, I've been liking them since Steve McNair days. And because I live here, Kansas City Chiefs fan, I'm like, bro, you gonna make something for the Chiefs? I'm like, no, I really don't want to. I don't really fuck with y'all like that. But I mean, if y'all got money,
hey,
money's green.
You gotta capitalize on that.
Exactly.
Chiefs fans out there, they want some merch.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Once I did it, I went balls to the wall. I'm talking about, I was at the parade. You need a shirt? I got. Hey, here we go. You would thought I was at the baseball game or something, chucking peanuts. I was throwing shirts all over the place, straight up. Like if I would have been making shirts when the Royals won the World Series.
Oh man,
boy.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then you got to think I got KU here. And you know, Kansas is always big in basketball, so that was going to be a hype season for me, especially this year, because Kansas was ranked #1. The Chiefs had won. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm Gucci out here, and then they canceled everything.
Yeah,
killing me. I'm about to start an OnlyFans page. That's what I'm going to do.
Hey, I told Q the same thing.
I asked wife, I said, baby, can I start an OnlyFans page? She said, shit, as long as don't nobody touch you, I don't care. I said, girl, I'll be out here getting it.
I told
don't
Q,
play with me.
I told Q one day, man, we was in our group chat. I told Q, I said, man, I'm gonna have to start selling beats on OnlyFans page. Well, I'm telling you, man.
Hey man,
it's rough out here, man.
Gotta get it how you live now. Come on.
Look, whatever it takes at this particular point, man. I'm out. I look for some snow to shovel up here in Kansas right now. Shit,
man. Hey, so we started talking about it before we went live, though. How had since the whole pandemic jumped off for you, you know, with the brand and everything?
For myself, it was pretty rough because, you know, with me traveling every weekend, I mean, there's stuff that you can't go to. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna be down there. So wifey is very supportive when it comes to me traveling, going to different events, wherever in the United States. Really doesn't matter. She's like, look, Long as you bring home that bread, I don't care where you go. See, when you get back.
Mhm.
So she's been super duper supportive when it comes to that aspect. So to shut that part down and just be solely online, I had to get super duper innovative. Like I have to think about different ways to draw business to the website, to get people to look at my site, to see, yo, do you want to come here? Do you like this? Let's have a sale. I mean, there's a lot of brainstorming, man. Lots of brainstorming. Shout out to my brand ambassadors that rep the brand. They definitely have been promoting for me, putting me on. And I do have to say to you, Jason, I appreciate you greatly because your Boss Talk Live was the very first time that I went live on YouTube, like ever.
Oh
And so
yeah.
you
Nice.
broke that mold for me. And
Mhm.
then I started jonesing for it a little bit more. So then I started getting on He Got Kicks page. I started getting on Jumper Man Chris's page, the Vintage World's page. So I've been going live with a lot of different YouTubers that I consider, family and friends, not
Yeah.
only for myself to get my name out there, but also for the brand. So big shout outs to you for doing that, man, for real.
No, no, man. I appreciate you coming through, doing a boss talk. It was something that had been on my spirit for a minute. Lord knows I didn't know. I didn't took Sneakerhead Suge Knight name with the boss talk live talking about flight. Flight hit me in my text like nigga, you know I did boss talk. I said, hey, I don't want no problems, bro. I didn't even know you did that. That's my bad, bro. That's my bad. He was like, nah, I'm just messing with you.
I didn't know he did it either. Yeah.
I guess he does it every once in a while, like on his YouTube. He does Boss Talk, and it's literally called Boss Talk Live. And I was like,
Damn.
I ain't never seen it before. That just popped in my head one day, and I was like, that's it. That's what I'm gonna call it. And I'm gonna, that's what we gonna do. And so, but nah, he was cool about it though. He was messing with me, but yeah, most definitely. When I was thinking about people, that I wanted to do it with and have on, I most definitely wanted um people like myself, where it was black business owners, because that's a lot of things that we don't see
Mm-hmm.
ever. Basically, is black business owners that we own our own business, we own our own brand, we provide jobs for other people, and we support our own selves. And a lot of people out here where, they see that we are owners and see what's going on. They think that it's just all good and it's glitz and glamour and that we just live in a lavish life and
Oh man.
just, like they don't know. So that's what made me really want to do, Boss Talk Live and have three black business owners and tell the nitty gritty, because if they can hear our story, if they can hear our testimony, it might enlighten them to do something, or they might, enlighten them to or motivate them to get off the couch, or that might be that actual, little nudge for them to actually be able to, jump out there and do something, jump out there on faith and do something, because Lord knows, like we didn't do it it just wasn't handed to us. You understand what I'm saying,
Mm-mm.
Rick? Like, like you said, like,
Mm-mm.
you wasn't trying to do it, like it just you was pushed, you had no choice.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
you basically there was no way out. He was like, I'm good, I'm done. And he was just like, wait, what?
Yeah. And what's crazy, bro, what a lot of people don't know about me is I was actually working a full-time job being a massage therapist. That's all I went to school for, was
Okay.
for massage therapy. And when my daughter was born, I was having to go to work to pay for the babysitter to come watch her.
Mm.
And I was like, wait a minute, how am I missing out on time with my daughter coming to work to pay somebody to watch my daughter? Like, it's not adding up. Shit ain't making sense. So when he came to me, it was like, yo, I'm done. It was like, well, shit, I see what needs to be done. I see what I need to do. And
Mhm.
that's what kind of gave me that extra oomph. And I'm like, I have to be successful at this. I
Mhm.
have to make this work because now I'm the father that's at home, with the kids. And I'm going to be the father that's taking the kids to school, that's going to be at all the recitals, at all the PTA meetings and all that other stuff. A role, as you were saying, as a black man, we're not even supposed to be in.
Mm.
Yeah.
So to put me in that particular bubble, I was like, shit, bring it on. I can do it. Let's rock with it. And so I'm at home, not only saving in daycare, but also making residual income as I'm saving money.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people don't understand that aspect. They don't understand how that works. But to me, it works out just fine. I haven't missed anything with my daughter.
Yeah.
I've seen her first crawl, her first walk, her first word, first time she ate food. I've been there for all of that, and that's something that you won't get back working for somebody else. So I was perfectly fine with it.
No, that's a fact. It's the same thing for me. Like when I came after I had graduated, from Grambling, and I had came home from playing ball overseas, and then my son's mother, had him. I was in a transition of like, because I was done playing ball. I had no choice but to retire because of my knee, and I was like, what am I gonna do? I got a little bit of bread. But what am I gonna do? Just because you got money, that don't mean nothing. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have if you don't have a blueprint to nothing, money doesn't mean nothing. You'll end up going through that in a heartbeat, whatever, unless you have a game plan. So, and I didn't have a whole bunch of money. Like, don't get it twisted. I didn't have a whole bunch of money or
No,
whatever.
you had a bag, bro. You had overseas money. You had Dubai money, bro.
I had a bag, but I ain't have a bag. All right.
You had a bag. I had massage money, bro. Okay, that's completely different than your overseas basketball money.
Right.
Hey, but my overseas basketball money was after I had came home, and then see a lot of people don't know is, what I'm saying, like you come home to, what I'm saying, moms, pops, things need to be, handled and taken care of or whatever like that, especially when you've been gone for a minute, and then you come back and things ain't been taken care of or whatever like that, things fall behind or whatever. So, and even for my own personal stuff, I needed to take care of things when I came home and whatnot. So, and then I have a baby on the way or whatever like that. I'm sitting here like, man, what am I gonna do? Literally everything that I have done when it had came to my business, it's all been in alignment because of a vision. Like everything, like, and I always go off my first mind, because I learned as a little kid, don't never go off your second mind or your third or whatever. Whatever's your first mind, that's God talking to you, whatever. I ain't trying to get preachy or whatever, but I'm just talking real life. So, it's very much so like, when it came down to start my own business, I mean, it was always meant for me, because I'm always like this. If your mother or your father smoke cigarettes, 9 times out of 10, you're gonna grow up smoking cigarettes, right? So my moms and my pops.
No, not at all.
No. Parents are both smokers. I don't like no smoking.
Once again, 9 times out of 10, if you see them smoking, normally you end up being a smoker. Normally, y'all are the exception, but I'm saying though, 9 times out of 10, you end up being a smoker, right? So, or alcoholic, whatever, right? So anyway, my moms and my pops, I ain't never seen them punch a clock. They've always owned their own business. They've always been an entrepreneur. They've always been a boss. So I learned that from my parents, regardless if they was together or not. I learned that from my parents.
I just want to say I'm glad that's where you went with it, because I wasn't sure where you was
going. No. Hey, that's
They grow up doing crack cocaine 9 times out of 10. You gonna do crack cocaine?
Hey, that's a fact though. That's a fact. Bad habits, good or bad habits, whatever you grow up, you seeing. Not necessarily that you just end up just doing it, but it's just like because you grown up in that environment. You're a product of your environment. So, for example, Q, you heavy in the NAACP. You can't tell me that you didn't grow up seeing some type of activism. You can't tell me that you didn't grow up in some, seeing that you want to make a way, right? No. You didn't want to make a difference.
Hey, brother, this is going bad for you.
I did, but I didn't grow up seeing leaders, and I grew up seeing preachers that when they got done with their sermon and their little revivals and stuff, they went to the house and started drinking and smoking. That's what I grew up to
see. Here's the thing though. You ended up seeing that, but you wanted to do something better. You wanted to be something that they wasn't. That's what I'm saying. So
I did
now that
everything
I can get down with that. I can get down with you seen it, you didn't
Yeah.
want to be like it, so you chose a different path.
And that's
Right.
the story of my life is I did everything that was the opposite of what I saw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's what
Yeah,
I'm saying.
because where I'm from, bro, you ain't supposed to make it. You
Yeah.
ain't supposed to make it. Being from Topeka, Kansas, you ain't supposed to make it. You supposed to work at the factories that they got.
Mm-hmm.
Get your minimum wage, join a union, and you stuck here.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
And you know, I didn't want that for myself. My whole family's back in Topeka.
Yeah.
All of them. You know, dad, brothers, aunties, uncles, cousins, all of them. But not me. I was like, nah, I'm gone. I'm out of here. I can't even do it. And
That's
they swear I'm rich. That's my nickname. They're like, rich ass
man.
Rick. I'm like,
Man.
here y'all niggas go with this shit.
But that's when you from a small city like that. I'm from Flint, Michigan, another place where, you know, if you ain't working from the shops, I mean, what else do you do? And then, I mean, that particular industry is as far as I'm concerned, as I became of age and as an adult, on the downturn. Like it's nothing like what it was back in the day. So that wasn't even an option. So it's like for me to even have been away from Flint for, I think it's been 9 years now.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, it's been 10 years. Anyway, but yeah, I mean, people think I'm doing super extra just because I'm not there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And I'm a very firm believer in give back, don't go back. Because there's always gonna be somebody there that's like, you think you hot shit.
Right.
No, I just don't want to be here with y'all.
Exactly. And it's the same thing for me. Like, you know, like I grew up in Milwaukee, you know, but it very much is just like any other Midwest city or town or whatever. It's a crabs in the barrel mentality, regardless if you're from Chicago or if you're from Racine or if you from Kokomo or if you from Flint, Detroit.
Yo, but do they really got black people in Milwaukee though?
That's a fact.
I have to know. I mean, I know I'm from Kansas. Kansas. But that's a legitimate question.
No, a lot of people always be like my cousin from California. He always used to come. Well, he didn't start coming until he was a teenager, but he always used to be like, "Man, there's black people in Milwaukee." And then he came to Milwaukee and was like, "Man, it ain't nothing but niggas up in here." I was like, "I tried to tell you, bro."
Like I've never been on a plane and I'm like, "Hey, how you doing?" They're like, "I'm from Milwaukee." And I'm like, "What? You from where?" Nah, you lying. Ain't no black people in Milwaukee.
Milwaukee, right?
Okay, I know you, and that's it.
That's it. I think you are the only black person I know from Milwaukee as well. I think.
Besides you and Greek Freak, bro, it's just y'all two.
Hey, listen, Greek Freak, look, Greek Freak get his check, but in the off season, he off somewhere.
He leave.
He gone. Out of
there. Nobody want to stay in Milwaukee.
He gone, man.
Sir, at all.
I'm trying to tell you, man. Yeah, if people come, man, and then they actually come to Milwaukee or they see Milwaukee and they be like, "Man, it ain't nothing but niggas up in here."
So people move to Milwaukee like on purpose?
No. So here's the thing. a lot of people that actually come to Milwaukee, you know, they end up coming from Chicago. Like a lot of black folks, they come from Chicago and they move to Milwaukee either because they on the run.
It's cheaper. It's cheaper in Milwaukee.
It's cheaper. It's cheaper to live in Milwaukee than what it is Chicago, but it's cheaper to live in a lot of places in the Midwest, period, compared to Chicago. So then they move there. So, but the closest next city is Milwaukee to Chicago. So they move to Chicago.
Either Milwaukee
or Milwaukee.
It's either Milwaukee or Gary. Which one you gonna choose? Gary, Indiana.
Yeah. And, I mean,
or Milwaukee.
Both of them sound horrible.
And Gary ain't even no real city, especially no more, because they ain't even got no school system.
Exactly. It's like a war zone. Have you been to Gary, Indiana?
No, I ain't been there. I have no reason to even touch Milwaukee, Indiana. I have no reason to go to Indiana. Cleveland, I'm never going back to. Or Ohio. I'm sorry. Ohio, there's no reason for me to touch that place. What's the other state next to it?
Sneakercon Cleveland?
You know what? Somebody gonna have to cut me a check to go back. Because last time I went, I got dysentery, so I don't know if I can mess with Cleveland. I
Dang.
can't do it. My homegirl, lady sneakerhead, she like, you coming back? Like, man, I don't know, man. Somebody gonna have. I'm gonna turn into a diva. I need to be picked up by limo. I need
Man.
M&M peanuts with no peanuts in them.
Yeah,
Like,
ain't
I need the
nobody
works
trying
to
to
go back to
ain't
Cleveland.
nobody trying to go to Cleveland. I keep telling them that. Nobody's trying to-
I I'd
Oh,
rather I
I'll go
would
to
rather go to
Oscar.
Milwaukee than Cleveland. What's that tell you?
Well, that's the point I was making earlier. You either gonna choose those cities or you're gonna choose Milwaukee. So
Yeah.
Milwaukee.
Shit.
I very much, I love my hometown and I was raised there, but I also can tell the good with the bad. And it's a fact that Milwaukee is very segregated,
Mhm.
it's very racist still to this day. And it's racism, it's one thing to have racism in your face, then I can respect it and I can deal with it. But the racism where it's, oh, hey, how you doing? And then once you turn your back, it's all, man, this nigga over here. It's a lot of that.
Mm.
Oh
Um
well, definitely think about where I came from. Topeka, Brown versus Topeka Board of Education. We changed the whole United States, baby. So
mhm.
it was blatantly in my face, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to get up out of there.
Yeah.
You're going to deal with it, but it's all about how you respond to it. It don't make me no difference. You know what I'm saying? If you don't like me because of the color of my skin, that's your fault. You missed out on a cool ass person.
Mm-hmm.
But
That's a
I
fact.
took those I took what I wasn't supposed to do and
Mhm.
applied it and showed them that I can do it. I was actually the first African American male to graduate from my massage therapy school.
Mhm.
So then to go into an industry that's 85% women, to
Yeah.
be a man, I'm going against the grain again. Then
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
I come into Johnson County being an African American male in a salon doing massage therapy. And I don't look like a massage therapist.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I was definitely against the grain, but I welcomed it because of how I was raised and my personality. So I was more than happy to go with it.
Yeah. And it's just like also for me, like I feel that because like I said, once again, I never seen my parents punch a clock or whatever. I never knew I was gonna be a business owner. I always just wanted to play basketball, but then once my plans was changed, it wasn't in God's plan for me to play basketball for my whole life. You know, um, he had a better plan for me, and most definitely when it came to raising my son, and being there for my child, it very much was a crossroads decision, just like yourself, Rick, where like, am I gonna be here to raise my son and be there for my child and be a father, or am I gonna go back overseas and because still had 2 more years medically to be able to play, but I would have came back not walking right if I would have
Hmm.
played out the rest of my existence, for my basketball career. I wouldn't have been walking the same, but I would have been sending that money. I'd have been sending that money home, but I wouldn't have been a father though. So I'd have missed out on them
Yeah.
pivotal 2 years,
So
Mm-hmm.
let
and
me
came
ask you
back.
this. Let me ask you this, and this is kind of sneaker related. You played basketball. Obviously, you were overseas. With the way the NCAA is going right now, with them having to compete with the NBA G League,
Mhm.
these kids coming out of high school and getting a check as soon as they get to this NBA Development League.
Yeah.
How are your emotions on that? Now, me personally,
Mhm.
I see it as yes, they do go to school for 1 year. They may or may not stay all 4 years,
Mhm.
but at least they have the opportunity, they have a scholarship to go and they can find a trade outside of basketball, find a direction. Not to say, I mean, look at yourself. You said, hey, my knees went out and then it was a wrap. Then you was
Yeah.
like, well, shit, what am I finna do now?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You'll have a bag if you go to the league, but that's not gonna say that you're gonna make that bag continuously.
Yep.
I-
Yeah.
if people follow basketball, there are the Kevin Garnetts, there are the Kobe Bryants, there are the LeBron James. What about the Jonathan Benders who
Mhm.
got drafted and he was a phenomenon and he's probably sacking groceries right now. The
That's a
Rashad
fact.
Lewises, that came straight from the league.
Mm-hmm.
What's he doing right now? He ain't even on NBA TV. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
nobody's messing with you compared to, look at Vince Carter. Vince Carter played for 16, 17 years and went back and got his degree on the same damn day he had a playoff game.
I
So
mean,
you
you
can't.
can You can even go. You can even go worse than that because Jonathan Bender and them, they made it. You can even talk about the phenomenons like the Ronnie Fields and different people like that was supposed to be the next LeBron James and different people like that, and they never was able
The
to make it
Cooks.
because the Cooks because of
Mhm.
injuries before they even was able to make it.
Yep.
So it's
I
like
don't
what
even
do
know. I don't
you
even
do?
know where Greg Oden's at. And anybody seen Greg
Uh,
Oden? Anybody?
um,
That's a good
You?
question.
well,
No. Oh,
I know like okay, so he actually went to high school with my wife in Terre Haute, and then he moved or he got transferred to Indianapolis and played with Conley out there. So
mm-hmm.
I know he's back in Indiana, but I don't know for sure what he's doing or whatever. But I mean, at least he made it.
But that's the that. But see, that's the thing. Everybody, there's only what 32 guaranteed contracts in the NBA every single season.
Give or
If you
take.
get drafted,
Yeah,
okay, the
yeah.
second round is not guaranteed.
Right.
So you got umpteen, I would say what 400 colleges.
Hmm.
Even if you take one player from each college and they're like, yo, I'm entering my name into the NBA draft. If
Mm.
you're not a lock, why take that chance? Why don't you stay there and get your education to have something to fall back on? Maybe it's
But
because I have a business mindset,
one dope thing
but I
that
would rather have a backup plan.
Yeah.
yeah. One dope thing that the NBA did implement though is that you can now hire an agent.
Hmm.
You can go to training camp
Hmm.
and you can go through the combine and everything. And if you don't get the reception that you feel, you can go back to
Mm-hmm.
college. You still keep your eligibility. They just implemented that because it used to be where once you hired an agent,
Hmm.
But
it wasn't no
I'm
going back.
talking about the one and done.
But that same thing though.
The
You
one
can
and done,
Yeah, I'm talking about the
the
one
one
and
and
done for the
done's can
people
do
coming fresh out of.
the one and done's can do G League now, where
yeah.
they don't have to stay in college. They can
They can.
go to G League and get paid.
They feel like they can. Yeah, they
They
feel like they good enough to make it. I mean, I'm not trying to knock no kid at all. Is that the decision that you
Well,
want to
well,
do?
here's the
By
thing
all
though,
means,
'cause
my man.
you gotta remember a lot of these young boys they don't go to college for college.
Yeah.
They go specifically for the sport. So if there is that student that's on there for a scholarship and are trying to get a backup plan, they rare, but they there. You
Because
kind of
you don't need the grades. You
right.
don't if you're a one and done, you don't need grades at all. All you need is your high school transcript, your SAT score, as long as you can pass that,
Mm-hmm.
and that's it because you don't need grades because after your first semester,
Mm-hmm.
it's over.
And the NBA is doing, like I said,
I mean,
they changed the D League to the G League now, to where they don't have to even go through that whole developmental component in that way. They can actually get paid for the years that they would have spent in college. As we know, the NCAA does not treat them well, right? From the
Right.
perspective of how
Right.
much money that they're getting off of them. So the G League is built so that they can spend those years they would have been in college while getting paid while developing for the pros.
Mhm.
Yeah. And again, a lot of
yeah,
those guys, they aren't there for school. So, and they know that.
Mhm.
true. It just I don't know, man. And what brings me full circle for that is, a lot of people look at my collection. Right now I'm probably at about 500 plus shoes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people ask me, they're like, yo, would you sell your shoes? And I'm like, if my kids didn't get into college, and I let all this shit fly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's a liquid asset. I would do that for them.
Mm-hmm.
Now I would push them to get a scholarship. I would push them to I wouldn't want them to get granted loans the way I did because my parents weren't able to send me to school.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So I have a backup plan. I have a fallback, and I just wish that parents would have that conversation with their kids so that their kids can be better than them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want my daughter or my son to be like me. I want you to be better than me.
Yeah.
Hell, a nigga in the street, Jason, if I see you and you like, man, I'm trying to get like you, my nigga, be better than me.
Yep.
That's how I see it. I don't want you to be right there with me. I want you to take this shit and go to the top. And when you make it, like, hey, shout out to so and so, whatever the situation is. But I don't ever want. I'm at this particular point. I'm like Charles Barkley. I ain't your role model. I don't want to. I don't want nobody to be like me at all.
Well, apparently, y'all GOAT feel that way too. Y'all GOAT MJ. He just said it last week. He said, "Look, I wasn't trying to be this role model that y'all been trying to pin on me. Now that's too much."
Facts.
But the thing,
the
thing is though, this isn't nothing brand new when it comes to Michael Jordan, because he been said that even when they showed in the last episode talking about him in politics, about him, pushing for homeboy. He was like, "Nigga, I don't know you." That's the whole point of me. I don't. He never been a politic. He's never been in a politics.
He could have just said that, because he did himself a disservice by even speaking on Republican, Democrat, whatever. He should have never said anything remotely close to the matter.
The thing about the Republican thing, though, is I'm glad he did say that. He was like, "Man, I was on the bus with Scottie Pippen and Horace Grant, and we was talking shit. I ain't think that was ever gonna come out like that or whatever." I mean, that's life learned lesson though, because then he really shut up. He was like, after that, the same thing with Sports Illustrated. Sports Illustrated wrote a piece on him in baseball after, and that was the main thing that really killed things. And I'm glad they talked about that too. When he went to baseball, they was eating him alive because that was the only thing they could ever like. Because he was always like, "Man, I need to find some type of dirt on Jordan." That was the closest thing they could find, because look, everything was tablet. Everything was he say, she say. Oh, the mob killed his daddy. Oh, he went to baseball because the commissioner kicked him out. Because he was gambling too much. Everything was he say, she say. So they never really had clear things on Jordan. So I'm glad they talked about that.
Celebrity. Any celebrity, they try to find something on him. Like,
the thing is though, but that's before the internet and social media and stuff like it is now. Now stuff happens or whatever like that. It's instant. It's out there or whatever like that. Back then,
let me tell y'all something. If he was playing in the social media era,
it would be
curtains. It'll be curtains.
I remember when everybody would get that little book that had celebrities' addresses
different too, though,
in it. That little book had people's addresses, supposedly phone numbers, the whole shebang. So I mean, I knew everything about Jordan because I was growing up. I'm talking about if the newspaper came out and there was something that said Jordan in it, I'm clipping it out. I'm like, yeah, let me get that. That was just me, and I'm saying that was my guy. So to see how they're talking about him now, I'm like, shit, y'all knew that. Y'all knew Michael Jordan was a gambler. Y'all knew he was a player. Y'all knew he was a smoker. When this nigga, man, when he said, I walked into the room and you had your weed smokers over here, your cocaine users over here, and your guys banging bitches over here, and he said, so I just walked out. Man, if you don't,
I just want to say this in response. For the third week in a row, he done been snitching. The first week he was talking about what you talking about, the cocaine circus. The second week he put your boy Scott Burrell on blast, being a playboy.
But Scott Burrell,
the third week, listen.
Yes.
Sunday, he put everybody on blast for smoking at halftime, drinking a beer at halftime. He said sometimes they would get it from the coach.
Well, once again, though, thank you. And once again,
you can't say I'm snitching if those are facts.
Thank you, and that's what I'm saying. When all this stuff was happening, when all that stuff was happening, they was in the locker room talking shit. It wasn't like, oh yeah, I got the whole.
If you notice when he was saying all that, the other dudes was just looking like quiet though. Like,
no, hey, look, if the other dudes you talk about is Randy Brown and Scott Burrell,
it was no. Huh?
What? It was Randy Brown and Scott Burrell.
No, he was back there with Ron Harper
and Scottie Pippen.
Ron Harper was a bum. Ron Harper wanted to be like Mike. Okay, everything I said it. Ron Harper was a bum. He wanted. He shaved his head like Mike. He said no. Okay.
You talking about?
I'm getting this on paper. Ron Harper wanted to be like Mike. He shaved his head like Mike. He wore like Mike's shoes. He wore the leg brace. Didn't even have a leg problem like Mike. He chose number 9, just like Mike on the Dream Team. Okay, he was playing for all these other teams, and he wanted to be on the Bulls so he could be closer to who? like Mike.
You know
Everybody
what?
wants to be like
This
Mike.
is why I get frustrated with you, Michael Jordan delusionals. Ain't nothing
Did I say anything that's not fact?
Ain't nothing we was talking about had nothing to do with nobody trying to be like him. I'm talking about snitching.
He wasn't snitching. These is bums. If you want to talk about snitching, then you need to talk about number 24 for the purple and gold, talking about Shaq. If you want to talk about snitching.
Oh, well, listen, Kobe's a carbon copy. So both of them.
Okay. Wow. That's low.
That
is low.
You know Kobe was a carbon copy.
I understand.
Even Jordan said it. Even Jordan said he do everything I do.
So even snitching, that's what we're doing.
Hey, the only thing is that's another thing that I'm glad that they showed too, though, because you never saw that, is that Jordan and Kobe's relationship. Everybody always know, unless they just a Kobe fan like that. Like, he took everything from Jordan. So you ain't never heard Kobe ever say, "I wouldn't be shit if it wasn't for this man. I wouldn't have won 5 rings if it wasn't for this man." Mm-hmm. You've never until now he retired, and it was right before he passed away that they literally had that on record, showing that he actually said that. Mm-hmm.
Now you wanna know who else would not say that though?
Who?
Another person wearing a number 23.
Who that? Who that?
That boy Bron.
Hey, now
that boy Bron.
Now hold on, Rick, because I was going to do a Facebook post about this today, and I ain't never get a chance to do it. I don't know if everybody has seen this weekend's coming up, episode 7 and 8. But when y'all see these episodes this weekend, episode 7, you're gonna see who LeBron really is. Mm-hmm. You're gonna see who he really is. It ain't Jordan.
Nobody saying he Jordan.
That boy Bron.
He ain't Magic, because they be like, he's the reincarnation of Magic. No, he ain't.
Well, first of all, he's better than Magic.
He's number 33 2.0. That's who he is.
But here's the thing, he's better than Magic, but he's also that's the better match or comparison for him. It would be Magic, not Jordan.
He's Scottie Pippen. He's Scottie
Pippen. But Magic actually was aggressive though.
No, we don't know how aggressive or non-aggressive he is. How we know that?
Look,
he ain't Magic. He's Scottie Pippen,
bro. I'm not.
Pippen?
Huh?
What's wrong with Scottie Pippen?
No, ain't nothing wrong with Scottie Pippen. I'm saying though, everybody always says Magic, or they say, or they try to do the comparison with Jordan and him, and it's like there ain't no comparison.
No, Scottie Pippen's one of the best two-way players to ever play the game. LeBron is not a two-way player, so you can't put him on that. Put that on him.
Preach.
He's not a two-way player. So
preach,
so his defense and his offense.
What I'm saying is you have to make the appropriate comparison based off skill set. That he's not what would be considered a two-way player.
Hey, Rep, how many
LeBron is a two-way player.
LeBron is a great defender on the transition, but like isolated defense, that's not your guy.
I seen Greek Freak give it to LeBron. Give it to him. Raw and uncut.
No, and that's why
LeBron ain't the dude that'll hike his shorts up and go down low with you. That's not LeBron.
She got you there, big guy.
You know that though. He know that.
Not now. No, not now.
But,
I'm talking about
for the record,
Miami Heat, in prime Miami Heat, right before going to Miami Heat, talking about Cleveland. Come on.
He's a transition defender. He's not an isolated defender.
While we're on the topic, if anybody wants to help me out with the LeBron 7s that's coming out on the 12th or 14th.
No, I'm getting
everybody.
I can't help you. I'm getting
so you
help me.
Okay.
Help me.
Anyway. No, you said you getting them. So anybody out there, YouTube land, if y'all want to help me out with a 13 or 14, I greatly appreciate it. If you hit 2 free shirts on me, holla at your boy.
Right. Just like what Alexander said, LeBron can play defense when he wants to, but that's not your guy. That's not your guy. You're gonna be calling out for who your best defenders of the last decade. You're not gonna say LeBron.
Not at all, Jason. Sorry. She got you there. Moving on to the next topic.
That's my guy. Come on. I'm with you when you're right, but when you're wrong, I got to get you.
Any team that ever play, he always holds the heart. He always holds
Oh my God, Jason, stop it! Jason, stop it!
Well, because
Stop
he's
it.
a leader. He's a leader. Don't get confused with leader and a defender. He's trying to set the tone. He's trying to set the tone. He's trying to get his guys out there to play hard. That's it. But that don't mean he the dude. He's not hiking up his shorts and getting down low. He's not slapping the hardwood like Patrick.
He most definitely ain't doing it right now. No, he ain't.
Hopefully he's playing some of the best defense of his career right now.
Yeah, well, yeah, because he ain't got no choice because AD like, look, I ain't coming there if you're gonna be on that bullshit.
Yeah, well, he doing what he said he was gonna do then. Shit.
And after all the scrutiny that he was getting last year, he had to jump in a hyperbolic chamber and get right.
Well, last year he was out from an injury, so
a groin injury.
Yeah, specifically.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That never happened to Michael Jordan, that's all I'm saying.
His wee hood.
Michael Jordan never took a year off for a groin.
I bet you he was still fucking. I bet you that. I bet.
Get out of his business. Get out of his business.
I bet you Michael Jordan still was too. That's why he got a divorce.
Got a growing injury, but I don't see his wife over there acting like Curry wife all on it.
Oh!
She said, "I want attention."
Let me text Aisha right now. Tell them how they talk about her. Girl, can you believe?
Oh yeah, hit her up in the DM, text her, do whatever you want to. Take a picture. I don't give a fuck.
What's she gonna do? Send her husband, her husband?
But didn't she even say though she was trying to get attention? Did she say?
Yes.
Them church
I don't see
she
Brian
snitched on herself.
She need attention. I don't see her talking about it. They keep having kids, so I don't see her having no problems about attention. They keep having kids,
don't they?
And doing TikTok.
Savannah over there, Savannah be glowing. I don't know what you've heard, but Savannah be glowing over there. Okay.
No moisturizing.
Hey, I think my
Q over there moisturizing.
I am. Look at it.
Right?
Moisturize like a mother. Look at that. Look at that.
I see some kicks in the back too. I see you over there, girl. I see you.
Oh man, kicks. I ain't doing nothing. I'm just a little squirrel in your world.
No. I see some kicks back there. You see, Jason. He ain't even trying to be. He's trying to be humble, sitting in the kitchen and stuff with the little clock in the back.
Yeah, no, I don't go in there when we do live. I don't go in there.
Look, if you say I gotta.
Oh,
look at that.
Oh, you ain't playing.
Hey, I told Rick, Q. I told Rick. I said he the Kansas City basement of the Jays.
Oh, absolutely. Wait, it's only Jay. That's all Jays.
I mean, I got some other stuff. I got some other stuff.
It's basically.
I got some bronze. I got some Kobe's. I got some Vince Carter's, some Paul George's.
Okay.
Jason Kidd's, Penny Hardaway's, Dennis Rodman's.
Okay, you're doing your due diligence then.
Blake Griffin's. We got some Greek freaks in there.
It's all Nike though.
Blake Griffin. Okay.
Yeah, we got some Ken Griffey's. We got some Shaq. Some.
Now, when
Iversons.
you say Blake Griffins, are you talking about Jordan PEs or like?
You talking about the Hyper Dunks?
Because I don't think those are Blake Griffin.
Hold on.
The Hyper Dunk, I think Draymond Green wore as well. So.
The Blake Griffin, unless you're talking about the Blake Griffin Hyper Dunk that came from the Galaxy pack. Yep.
Oh, okay. You were just saying that, yeah.
These is low key. These is heaters right here.
Yeah, are they comfy?
Yeah, I mean, I only wear them like once every 2 years, but
okay.
Yeah, this is. So I got a little BG right there. You know,
that colorway is nice.
Yeah,
it's nice. I call it I don't even know what to call that. Safety, prison worker orange. I don't know what you would call that.
Prison worker orange. That was your first thought?
Yeah. I'm on parole. I got to go pick up trash on the side of the road. This is your best.
He said,
but no.
Made by Kick said Brown would have never stayed around to beat the Pistons. Yeah, I said it. Well, as somebody that watched LeBron whoops my Pistons ass, I have to disagree because he.
Hold on, you a Pistons fan?
Absolutely. LeBron is a part of the reason why my Pistons started to fade out. So I can't beat no guys back in like what was it, 06, 07? One of them.
I've never met a real life Pistons fan.
Oh, absolutely. I'm here. It's me.
Oh wow.
I've been hoping we can get back to our glory days, but we've been out about
good luck with that.
You got a better chance of getting some fresh water before y'all get.
Man, it's 2020. It's 2020. We ain't been legit.
No.
What, like 08? That's been our last year of real.
It's been a while.
Yeah. So you
got a better chance of Jason growing some hair than y'all coming back to our glory days.
Wow.
I mean, he bald though, so I can say that. If he had like a receding hairline, that would have been a shot. But he bald though.
Yeah, got a beard though. So forget all y'all.
You and this beard. Hey yo,
going back to the whole Ron Harper thing and all of that, if you notice, a lot of them dudes was going bald like super early back then. Like actual like hair going bald like back in the day.
I'm embracing when that time comes. I'm embracing it. Morris Chestnut did it. Will Smith did it.
Will Smith.
So I'm trying to. Yeah, when he was kill shot or dead shot.
What you talking about for a movie? We talking about real.
It still look good on him though. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Like I see hope at the end of the road. You know what I'm saying? Because I got this fly ass beard, and I know that when I do go bald, I'll be able to. I'll have like a funny shaped head or anything. So I know it's coming.
That's fair. You kind of got a round face too, so you have to improvise. Indeed.
Yeah. So I feel like it's gonna be good. I'm gonna be wearing a lot of hats. I'm gonna be like my man Jason. I'm gonna hit him up. I'm like, yo, what do you use? How do you get the shine on there? All of that.
Barbershop.
Hey, but wifey just sent me a Snapchat. That means that's my time. I told you I played nice with her, so I was able to come on here. So I appreciate you having me, Jason. Q, it's always a pleasure to be in your presence. Hopefully I can get in the sneaker battle one day, line them up, whoever it is.
Bro, got you.
I'm coming for the title, whoever it is.
We got you. This way, a couple months, it's going to be go time. Let's go.
All right, bet. I'm going to go mess up this wing stop. I appreciate you having me. Remember, follow me on Instagram, Lamar Clothing, and then get online, lamarclothing.com. That's all I got. That's it.
We're gonna put it in the chat too, Rick, man. We're gonna hold you in a minute.
All right, man. I appreciate you having me.
All right, boy.
Have a good night. Alexander talking about Pistons messed up when they picked Darko over Melo. I mean, at face value, yes, they messed up by picking him. But in the long run, they wasn't gonna get that far with Melo. Because when you consider the dynamic of the team that they had and when they were most successful, Melo doesn't work well in that type of environment. He's a stop ball player.
Did you hear what Melo said? He recently said too, after his turmoil or whatever. He said, "Man, what if I actually would have went to the Pistons?" Because remember, the whole reason why he didn't go to the Pistons because he didn't want to go to the Pistons. That's the reason why they didn't pick him because he didn't give them no choice.
Mm-hmm.
So he was like, "What if I did go to the Pistons? Because if I would have went to the Pistons, I would be a champion." He was like, "My career would have been different."
Yeah. He said that they would win multiple rings, and I think it was Ben Wallace that said, no, that wouldn't have went down like that. So you got to think about it like over the course of his career, if he had been on a team like that, it wouldn't have even worked the same. Because this was a team of, if you could call somebody a superstar, it would be Rasheed Wallace, but I don't feel like that was a team of superstars. It was a team of stars, but it was after they had started to succeed. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Hamilton was coming of age with the Wizards when they got him. Obviously, that's your pick and pop guy. You got Chauncey Billups, your Mr. Big Shot. He hits the big shots all the time. Rasheed, who can stretch the floor because he's a big man that can hit that jumper as well. Tayshaun Prince, who, man, that wingspan. Woo! That wingspan on D. Come on. Very solid two-way player.
Ben
Wallace was just a dog. He was a dog. Don't get him to the free throw line, but he was the dog. Don't get him to the free. Man, when they was going up against the Lakers, the year they won that championship, he used to show the insoles of his shoes when he was defending Shaq. He literally had to change the insoles of his shoes like at the halftime because the insoles of his shoes was tore up.
Shredding up. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean that dynamic. Imagine Melo in that dynamic.
His game would be different. He would be a different player.
Mm-hmm.
And they would ask him to be I mean, he would have no choice but to be a different player. But see, the thing is, though, he would be around winners.
Yeah.
He would be around more maturity. He wouldn't be the man.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? So with him being on the Pistons, it's like, yeah, we know you can ball, but yeah, you won in college, but now we asking you to win on the ultimate level.
Right.
Which means that you're gonna have to give up and sacrifice a little bit. You ain't never had to sacrifice because you've always been the man. He was a man in high school. He was the man in college. He's always been that dude. But now you ain't that dude, but when he came to the NBA, it was the same thing. With Denver, he was that dude. New York, he was that dude. Now was the wind down, so.
Yeah, and I mean, in the game, in my opinion, the game outgrew his skill set.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Where he's kind of that isolated player that likes to choose a spot, shoot from there, but the ball doesn't move when he has the ball. He stops everything. Whereas now the game is more fast paced. Guys are moving up and down quickly. It's transitions. It's pull up shots. It's just constant. And that outgrew him. And so that's why he's not the superstar Melo anymore.
Yeah, and it's the game flew past him to where he could, there's a lot of players that have their game has evolved for them to stay in the league. And he never had a chance to because he's always been that dude. And it's like now you asking me to be something that I ain't never been before. And he talks a good game about it, but I mean, he's always gonna be that dude when it comes to being a one-on-one scorer. Like, he's one of the best at to ever do it, to be a one-on-one scorer, especially in the post, mid-range. I mean, that's knocked down, that's lights out. But it's hard to put him it's hard to put him on a team, and he fit right in just like that.
Right.
And is literally Portland is the only team that really coincided with his game. For him to fit in. When I was trying to figure out what team that he could play for and he would fit right in, like going on a LeBron team, it wouldn't work. LeBron would sacrifice a lot, to try to big up his boy, to try to, make him feel comfortable, because that's the type of player that LeBron is. LeBron isn't, once again, like Jordan, where it's just like, man, if I pass you the ball, you need to catch that. What's wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? But that's another thing. Like, I don't like that, because it's like the era that we live in is totally different than that era and they showing it right now. It was a totally different era. In that era in the 90s, it just wasn't Jordan. Once again, it was every superstar. You can't tell me Patrick Ewing wasn't on the Knicks. Like, you gonna miss that shot after I just passed it to you out the post, for real?
I was just watching the 95 Eastern Conference semis today against the Pacers. Yeah, I mean, they've been doing that all day between him and Charles Oakley, chewing out teammates. Like, come on, like what we ain't setting up? Like, young guys, like, come on.
Anthony Mason, Starks. I mean, you go to the Indiana days with Reggie Miller and Mark Jackson. You can't tell me they wasn't on Rick Smith and the Davis boys. Like, for real, you ain't gonna get that rebound?
Yeah.
All right. The only way you gonna get the ball again is a rebound. Is catching off the rebound. So stuff like that or whatever. Like, it's always been that way. From back in the 90s and previous in the 80s and stuff like that or whatever. You can't tell me Barkley wasn't the same way. Everybody knows Barkley was that way. He would snap on every team he's been on. If it was Houston and Phoenix. But nowadays it's different, because these players, they've been playing with each other since they was kids in AAU ball and traveling teams and all that stuff like that or whatever. There was no such thing back in the day, and there was no such thing as, oh man, we should all play together. There was no such thing as that. It was, yo, once you was on the team, you was on the team, and it'd be like, yo, man, my deal is up. Well, what you gonna do? Cause what you gonna do or whatever like that. It wasn't no, man, I was thinking about coming to play with you. Like, oh well, yeah, this is my team, right? You come over here, this is my team.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? This ain't no, oh man.
They also didn't have that kind of control back then anyway. So even if they wanted to join forces, they didn't have that kind of control. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of the things that I do love about today. I love the fact that a lot of these guys are literally the captain of their own destiny in the league. You know what I mean? A lot of times when we think about that leather ball with that thread, we think we could, compare it to slavery a little bit. From the olden days and how I used to work, the owner called the shots.
Yeah.
You're going to be here or you're going to be there. And you can't choose between the two. I'm going to choose.
And it wasn't, once again, it wasn't no money being slung around like that, like at all, they'll talk about it this weekend. Like Michael Jordan was very much underpaid. They talking about Pippen now, but it's the same, that was Michael Jordan was one of the most underpaid players in the league his entire career until he started doing one-off deals. Just because they're talking about Pippen now, they don't talk about how Michael Jordan was getting $3 million.
But my question though, and I would have to do research on this, but I mean, we think about we're talking about $3 and $4 million like it's something to sneeze at. You know what I'm saying? What was the threshold of a salary back then? You know what I'm saying? Because I think it would be remiss of us as just average folk to say $4 million is underpaid.
Well, now remember, like nowadays, you see $100 million deal, and it's like, oh man, okay. But back then, the first person to even get $100 million, and it was like, oh my God, that's crazy. Was Glenn Robinson, was Big Dog Glenn Robinson when he got drafted with the Bucks, and then after that, it was Kevin Garnett. That's why they call him the big ticket. But besides that, nobody was getting the average.
I think it was 100 then, because I don't think 100 came down until
Glenn Robinson.
What's my man that came from Phoenix to New York?
Amari Stoudemire?
Yes, he was the $100 million man. Before then, you wasn't hearing about no $100 million deals like that.
Glenn Robinson drafted, got $100 million. Drafted. He was the first person to get $100 million. Then Kevin Garnett, that's why they call him the big ticket, got $100 million.
$100 million.
Yeah.
Straight up NBA money.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
$100 million. You can look it up. You can Google it. $100 million. That's why they call him the big ticket.
But either way, I mean, Glenn Robinson came in mid 90s? When did Glenn Robinson
came in at 90? Hold on. Don't get me the line. It was 93 if I'm not mistaken.
Right, and I'm saying that to say, I mean, you got guys like a Jordan who came in 1984.
Yeah.
So, and to say, let's say his next term of contract was maybe like what? Maybe 89 or something like that. Hypothetically speaking, if it was like a 5-year contract or something.
94. Glenn Robinson was 94, number 1 pick.
Right. So 94 is a little bit more realistic, but when you think about the era of which Michael Jordan came in, $4 million is not underpaid.
No, not at all, not at all. And for example, even when Michael signed the Nike deal and his agent got him $250, that was astronomical. 250,000. By the way, I'm not talking 250 million people. 250,000. Yeah, no, that was the highest paid sneaker contract, ever at that time, because everybody was getting like, 80,000, 100,000, or whatever like that. It was nothing.
That's what I'm saying. Like when we say that, we got to think about that time. Like at that time, $4 million was a lot of money. Like we can't sneeze at it like that. Today, yes, $4 million today, absolutely, that's crazy. But that's not underpaid back then. So
no, not at all, not at all.
I don't understand why people bring that up. That was my whole question.
The value of $1 is just is way back then is 250,000 back then, in the early mid 80s is like 2.5, 20, 25. That's like 25 million. You know what I'm saying? Like 250,000. You know, so
they're saying Juwan Howard. Somebody said Juwan Howard was the first $100 million contract.
no. Hold on, I just had it too.
That don't sound right to me. But
Yeah, no, and he most definitely didn't make more money than Chris Webber.
Right, that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, it's not going to be Juwan Howard. If anybody in that team, it's going to be Chris Webber or Jalen Rose.
Right, and
It's not going to be Juwan Howard.
Chris Webber was yeah. So okay, I got it right here. Glenn Robinson agrees to the terms with Milwaukee Bucks today after his goal of becoming $100 million basketball player. He Robinson top pick. He agreed to 10 years.
Okay.
So you know so basically like how yeah, he's
kind of realistic, you know.
It's $10 million a year, you know, for
right,
you know.
Right. But I think my boy Amari, that was about 4 years for $100 million.
Yeah, but now once again though, when Amari hit the scene, when he did that transition from Phoenix to New York, though, that was early 2000s.
Yes.
So that's I mean, we talking Glenn Robinson was 1994.
Right. Which I mean, the culmination was $100 million. Yeah. So you're right. It was $100 million deal, but we talking about chunks within a shorter span of time as the years started to go by. You know
well, yeah, exactly. Because the TV deals, I mean, David Stern did a hell of a job. First of all, you know what I'm saying, for boosting the NBA, especially for, I mean, the NBA in the early 2000s had hit peaks as far as worldwide basis. You know, we talking Yao Ming in the league.
Yeah.
You know, so that income worldwide is really coming in. So, you know, teams was able to do so, and then it started. We started having a lot more overseas players at that time also as well too. That was a peak of overseas players.
Juwan Howard is right. He said, "Google it." Juwan Howard is right. He was the first.
No, it depends on when Juwan Howard. Are we talking about Juwan Howard being drafted? Let me see. No, not Michigan contract. I don't want to see his Michigan contract.
It says 7-year, $105 million, but I don't see a date on it yet. Let me see. How the Miami Heat dodged a bullet in '96. They must be talking about '96. The Bullets would be
okay. So Howard then re-signed with the Bullets on August 5th. He became the first player. That's a re-sign. I'm talking about out the gate.
Out the gate, yeah.
Yeah, I'm talking about out the gate. That's a re-sign. He became the first player in NBA history to sign a contract worth more than $100 million. He did a 7-year deal contract for 105, but that was a re-sign though. I'm talking out the gate.
So why are they saying he's the first $100 million man? Like what? How I'm understanding this is terms matter. Terms matter most. So
yeah, and it's 7. You know, it's 7 years compared to Glenn was 10 years for 100 mil. So he was making more money less year. You know, yeah, essentially, yeah, because of the less years or whatnot. And I don't even know what Kevin Garnett was. Kevin Garnett, I think he signed a long-term situation too with the Timberwolves. That's why he was over 100 mil. Because Garnett.
Yeah, saying later in his career he signed. Well, it said he signed another 100 mil. Let me see. After 3 seasons, which led him to receiving the 126 million with the Timberwolves at 19. Damn! You a 19-year-old making an accumulation of 126 million? Let me see what the terms of that one is, because Lord Jesus.
And Kevin Garnett made over $326 million.
God damn. Just from basketball.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, from salary off the league.
Yeah, he lost like half of that to his ex-wife though, but
damn. That is insane. And that was 97?
No. Garnett drafted in 9. If Kobe was 96, Garnett was 95, Glenn was 94.
No, I'm talking about this contract.
Oh, yeah.
Because, you know, some guys, they'll have the 2-year rookie contract and then they'll do the sign.
Yep.
Damn, that is crazy. Do y'all understand how much money that is for a teenager? That is insane. God damn.
And we talking about Kevin
Kevin Garnett, yeah.
Garnett was straight out of high school. So I mean, Jesus
136
Christ.
million and 19. He wouldn't be able to tell me nothing.
Nothing.
What?
Nothing.
That's
Nothing.
why he was talking all that shit on the court.
Yeah.
Like he ain't had no worries. All the people there like, what you gonna do, Nick? What you gonna do? You gonna do something? You gonna
Man,
you gonna play some defense next go around? What you gonna do?
man. That's like Kevin Garnett has always been my favorite power forward. I think he's the best power forward of all time. Me personally, better than Tim Duncan, because Kevin Garnett could play offense and defense, and he literally could bring the ball up if need be. He could bring the ball up.
Mhm.
I've seen him physically do it for the Dream Team in practice
Mhm.
on 101 King of the Court. You can see that on YouTube. I've seen him do it since high school when he was in the 17. He was in a 17 age bracket in AAU in Las Vegas, and I was in a 15-year-old age bracket my first time in Las Vegas, and I seen him play,
Mhm.
and I was like, "Who the hell am I looking at right now?" I had never seen Kevin Garnett before in my life, and that was the first time I ever seen him, and I couldn't believe it. I knew he was gonna be. I knew he was gonna be crazy, and he ended up being. And he was talking crazy back then. I
Mhm.
mean, Q. I mean, Q. You know, you from Michigan or whatever, so
Mhm.
you've heard the stories. Even though you live in Chicago now, you've heard the stories. It was really like that. Seeing him and Ronnie Fields play,
Mhm.
it was literally like looking at the '92 Dream Team. Them two play like it was crazy. You know, we talking about in high school though.
Mhm. Mhm.
So
And I mean, he's anybody that know basketball knows that Kevin Garnett is a part of the big. Well, he is to me. He's the big man that changed the big man game.
yeah,
You
it's a
know what I'm
fact.
saying? Dudes played big throughout the duration up until Kevin Garnett came through. Like
That's a
he
fact.
was able to shoot, he was able to dribble, he was just so versatile. And then Dirk came with the Euro step.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So it was that extra element of that big dude that can do multiple things. He wasn't just the dude on the block, you know what I'm saying, boxing out and grabbing the rebounds and all that good the big man game basically. So
that's a fact. He changed. He literally changed the game. You
mhm.
know, from to being a stretch forward because obviously he wasn't gaining no weight.
Right.
And he wasn't in no weight room. But we talking about. I mean, obviously he got bigger over time, but it was only so much that he was going to get big at. Upper and lower body.
Hmm.
When you see him in person, you can see him on camera. You can see him on camera, see him on TNT and stuff like that, and you'll still think that he's a little skinny dude or whatever like that. He is nowhere near skinny like Kevin Garnett. I mean, Kevin Durant. When you see him in person, when you see
And,
him in
and
person,
apparently Kevin Durant has gained some weight, but you still can't really see it like that. But
yeah, but over time, because
mhm,
Kevin Durant has the same build as Kevin Garnett when he was young.
yeah,
They literally have the same build. So as time he gets older,
yeah,
he will literally start looking, which I'm pretty sure he's starting to look right now,
yeah.
like Kevin Garnett. But
Mhm.
when you see them on camera though,
It
when you
look
see them on the court, they always still gonna look like pixie sticks. But if you see them in person, same thing with Giannis. Giannis looked like a really skinny dude or whatever. Obviously, you could tell he
noticeably
put on
bigger.
man.
He's
You could tell.
noticeably bigger now. Like
Yeah, you
you
can
can
tell.
see it. You can see it now. He got
You
mass.
can see it. Yeah, you can most definitely see it. So what you see right now, it's like, man, yeah, he's gotten big. So then see him in person, then you really gonna be like, God, you know,
Damn.
yeah, exactly. So,
Hey, he put
that,
in work. Like I respect that young man, Giannis, man. He put in work. He got in that gym. He said, "Looky here, y'all not about to be bullying me, huh?"
yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. But he has the old school mentality though. He has like, yo, I've been getting beat up all these years. I gotta get in the weight room.
Mm-hmm.
I got to get in the weight room.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Whatever. So he has that old school mentality. He doesn't have the new school, man. Let's go practice together. Let's go. No,
Yeah.
I don't know you like that. We
Right.
don't-
But especially, as his game starts to evolve and he starts to become more of a dominant player, he just kind of has to.
yeah,
He has to be stronger down there, as his maneuvering and all of that stuff gets better. I don't know.
mm,
Is he one of the guys working with Hakeem right now? Do you know?
yeah. He actually for the last couple years, he actually did work with a kid. Kevin Garnett is actually one of his mentors, and Kevin Garnett actually, when Jason Kidd was the coach, he
Mhm.
actually brought Kevin Garnett on to be, to be a mentor for him. So for a couple years, they was actually working together,
Wow.
on a day to day basis. I don't know if they still work together like that still, but I know for a couple years they was, which was that transition from little Giannis to now the Giannis that you see now with the weight training and stuff like that. Like
Mhm.
Kevin Garnett was helping and implementing that. Like you got to get bigger. It's going to help out with your jumper. It's going to help out with getting bumped and bruised around.
Mhm.
So you don't have ailments if you in this weight room or whatever. Same thing like what I guess we could say like what we seeing right now in Last Dance. Like Jordan was getting beat up by the Pistons.
Yeah.
Whatever. He had no help and he was getting beat up by the Pistons. The Pistons knew if we can kill him, we don't
Mhm.
have to worry about nobody else because the rest of the team is trash.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Whatever. That's one thing about LeBron, where it's like LeBron came into the game already having that work ethic and that body structure.
Yeah.
Jordan didn't work out. Jordan did not hit the weight room at all for a couple of years.
Mhm.
Whatever.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I guess you can say like as years went on, like that's a life learned lesson. And even LeBron, we can say he took that, whatever. It's like, man, I got to get in this weight room now because I know I'm about to get beat up,
Mhm. Mhm.
whatever. So
Yeah, he definitely he came in ready, and then he
yeah,
stays ready throughout the year too. Like
yeah,
the work that he puts in that we see on social media, like he's clearly still like dedicated in a way in which like he's still one of the young boys.
yeah. And the money that he spends on his body, he should. Like he spends, and the technology that you have nowadays compared to what I mean, if they had the same technology for, not even just Jordan, but just any of the basketball players coming
Mhm.
from the '80s and that, I bet you Larry Bird would have a longer career. I bet you Magic, regardless of age or not, would have a longer career.
Mhm.
You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying? So I bet you Akeem would have a longer career. Barkley would have a longer career.
Absolutely. I mean,
You
it's
know,
still, it's still a lot of fragile dudes out there. Paul George still constantly injured. Guys like him. There's somebody else that's a superstar that stays injured too. Who else?
uh,
Well, Steph Curry finally started to get out of the hump, but then it happened again.
it happened again.
Because
Yeah,
early in his career, them ankles wasn't right.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, man, he's just on a whole nother level. A lot of the technology today is really about recovery, but
Yeah.
the preparation part they have to do.
Hmm.
That them ice baths and all that shit, that's to get them joints, from being inflamed. That's it. But the rest
That's all
of
it used to. That's all it used to be. It used to be.
it.
You get done playing a football too. You get done playing a basketball game. It was like, all right, yeah, I'm gonna go get in the tub real quick. Then I'm gonna go home.
Yeah. Oh, John Wall. Yeah, John Wall's another one of them that just always hurt.
John Wall can't get right. That's his name. Can't get right.
Mm-hmm.
Derrick Rose.
Oh my God. I don't even consider him no more because I just know he's gonna be injured.
Yeah. I mean, but nowadays Derrick Rose does not get injured though. That's the thing. He doesn't get injured now, but the injury that he had was
Hmm.
so detrimental to his game
Hmm.
to because we're talking about at the height of his game from being MVP to all of a sudden being, season ending. I
Yeah.
mean, we can even talk about Sean Livingston. Sean Livingston, was not supposed to come back to the NBA,
Right.
and
Because he had what, heart surgery?
yeah, he had he busted his knee.
Hmm.
He busted his knee, and he wasn't supposed to come back from that at all. But the technology that they have these days, they was actually, he was, you know, um, I forget they didn't gave that man a whole bionic leg basically now, and he's able, and he came back to the Golden State Warriors and won a championship off the bionic leg they put on him.
That's true. Oh, you know who I was thinking about with the heart surgery? That's dude that big dude that came from the Blazers to the Spurs.
Oh, Dewan Blair. Dewan,
Um, big dude. He's a Spur now, but he was on the Blazers.
Marcus Aldridge.
Yes, Marcus Aldridge. Yeah,
Okay, yeah, yeah,
he
yeah.
had heart surgery. Yeah.
Dewan Blair, which I mean, he was a top 10 pick when he came out, but he was at the Spurs. He had a heart murmur. He had an enlarged heart, so that's what I thought she was talking about initially at
He had
first.
no knees though.
Hmm?
He didn't have any kneecaps.
No.
So he had bigger issues. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, nothing bigger issue than your heart, but I'm saying like, he had issues from the gate. He ain't have no knees, so
He was already big as a house too, or whatever.
yeah,
But
his career wasn't gonna be long anyway.
no, not at all. Not at
Yeah.
all. It was short lived.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
I mean, nowadays, like I said, though, the medical for these players is way more advanced, and it's just once again, you can't compare these generations because it's too much. You have to implement. You know what I'm saying, to put in consideration from we talking the medical, we
Mm-hmm.
talking the new technology, compared to back in the 80s and 90s, there was none of that, but players, there was different rules also as well, no hand checking, zone, there was no zone defense,
Yeah.
you know, players, it was an inside out big man first.
Mm-hmm.
So now, when they changed the game, when they changed the rules, it went to guard first,
Mm-hmm.
which I guess you can also say like when you
Imagine hand checking and zone being in the same era.
think of hand checking in zone right now.
That would be impossible.
If it was hand checking in zone right now, big men would still be in the league. Like predominant big men, not stretch fours and all that. No, the predominant. That's why there's no such thing as big men anymore. No low post game. There is no such thing. You see only like maybe 3 low post players in the league still.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that's because they still, and that, like the jokers and stuff like that, is because they can play low post, but they can still pass the ball though,
Right.
whatever like that.
Right.
But there is no such thing, like
Hand checking with zone though, like that would be
that's impossible.
that would be insane.
That's
Like,
impossible.
nothing will ever happen all game.
That's impossible. That's why college ball. That's why it's so much of a difference between college ball and the NBA, to where you can tell when these players come in from the college ball, the 4-year players ain't even that good no more like it used to be. If you was a 4-year player, you was a seasoned player going into the NBA, ain't that much you really gotta,
Mm-hmm.
but nowadays the one and dones have more opportunities because you go right into the NBA, and you're not seasoned into the we play zone all game.
Yeah,
It's still hand checking his zone all game and stuff like that or whatever.
for sure.
It's
You can do man to man with that hand check, and and stuff you can still maneuver. You know
mhm.
what I'm saying? But that zone in the hand check, oh nigga, you ain't nobody scoring tonight.
No, not at all. That's why college game scores be like 50 to 55.
Man.
That's why
Woo.
if you see an NBA game in 50 to 55, you be like, man, they was playing some serious D that game, boy.
Right. That's true.
That's why you never see it. That's why you never see it. That's why all these games be like 149, 144.
Yeah. Like just straight offense.
Straight offense. No, if you make all defensive team, that's like a real acknowledgement.
Absolutely.
That's a real acknowledgement because that's what you known for. You a Patrick Beverly type player. Is
Yeah, he's rare, man.
which
Like,
is which is another one from Chicago. Like you got to be a Chicago basketball player to be known for defense, because you don't come from nowhere else. Which I could say this, whatever you can call it what you want.
mhm.
Midwest players are the only still players that still play defense on any level of basketball. You come from Chicago, you come from Detroit, you don't hear from nowhere else.
Allen was a defensive.
Tony Allen was, come on, first team all defense. He'll say it any day.
Yeah. There's some guys that from the shot they played that D. Isaiah, he played D.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know no player. Anthony Davis.
yeah, he
I
played.
don't know. I don't know no player from Chicago. Kevin Garnett, not from Chicago, but he played high school ball second half of it in Chicago.
Dwayne
You know,
Wade.
Dwayne Wade. They all defensive players.
Yeah, absolutely.
All
Yeah.
defensive players.
Wow, I never really looked at it like that.
Yeah. So it's like Tim Hardaway.
Mm-hmm.
So you know what I'm saying?
Was Derrick Rose, man? He's more
He was,
offensive.
He's more offensive, but he can play the especially he's very because he's so fast. He's a pass lane. He's a passing lane. He was up there. He was up there in steals for defense when he like in his height of his career, that MVP year too.
That MVP year was he played his ass off, and he got that. He worked to get that good, because if you remember, like years leading up to that MVP year, which wasn't many because he was still a young kid.
Yeah,
but
he
he
was
didn't have,
23.
he didn't have a jump shot for a hot minute.
Nah,
And
he never needed a crazy. He never needed an outside jump shot. He
well,
had a decent mid
develop it.
range.
He developed it by that year though, and
Yeah,
that's why he's about to be deadly going forward. Like if that injury didn't happen, we would be talking about Derrick Rose in our conversations of greats. Like that kid was great to watch. The contortionist, just what was he was doing all types of shit with his body
Oh,
going.
his layup package still to this day is phenomenal. Like it's no discrediting his game now though. It's just he's not the player that he was supposed to be. But don't get it twisted. If he in free agency and I was a GM, I sure enough would be like, how much you need?
Yeah. Like he will stay employed for sure.
That's a fact.
Employed. I feel like he put that floater back on the map.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Was doing that floater way more after Derrick Rose was successful with that guy.
Mm-hmm. That's a fact. That's a fact. So I mean, God, man, Derrick Rose should have been, but it's a lot of players that should have came out of Chicago. That should have been LeBron and all time and Kobe before they was LeBron, Kobe, and different players or whatever like that. There's plenty of players out of Chicago, that should have made it but didn't make it because of whatever
Do you got
getting hurt.
guys that blew it like Antonio Walker or Antoine Walker? My bad.
Antoine Walker, yep.
That nigga he be at regular places now. I'd be like, that nigga one of us.
Man, no, you know who really blew it is and he basically homeless broke is Latrell Sprewell. Latrell Sprewell used to sign them serious deal money. He from Milwaukee. He used to get we talking $100 million deals. He was signing serious money deals. When he was with Golden State, he was getting serious money. When he was with the Knicks, when he was with the Timberwolves, everywhere he's went, he signed huge contracts. And he blew all that money because he never he had a bad accountant, number one. He never saved anything, and then he blew his money on bad investments.
Damn.
He blew all his money on bad investments to like bad, doing restaurants and different houses and a whole bunch of cars and stuff and taxes that he didn't pay because like I said, he had a bad accountant and stuff like that or whatever. Like he lost all his money. So
which coach did he choke?
That was Golden State. It was I want to say Nelly. I want to say Don Nelson. Hold on.
Look it up, yeah. But Antoine Walker blew through 108 million.
Who did?
Antoine Walker. He blew 108 million. That was money he made over 12 years, but
yeah, it was PJ Carlissimo. That's who it was. That's what it was. It was PJ Carlissimo.
Damn, that's the 90s was crazy, man. Hey, man. Sean Kemp was playing as a cokehead.
Man.
Sprewell was choking their coach, bro.
And so that's what I'm saying. Once again, you talking about Jordan snitching. Boy, that was just a known fact because they've been talking about it on different NBA things.
He made over
and David Stern was before he passed away. Like, how before he was commissioner, like it was just a known thing. Like all the NBA players, they did drugs. The NBA was bad. It was known for doing drugs and openly. Like it was a difference between the NBA and the ABA. People, we all look at the NBA as this big old glamorous, now. But back in the day when it was the NBA and the ABA was the organization and the NBA was like the G League.
Right.
Until they did the merger. You know, and it was still messed up.
Those ABA dudes came over to NBA,
Mm-hmm.
and then it was just a big ass party.
Yep, exactly.
Until Magic and Bird. Magic and Bird made the league reputable. It made people pay attention to the league. Nobody gave a fuck about the NBA
At all.
Larry Bird and Magic Johnson became rivals. That whole era right there, that made the NBA. For anybody that don't know the significance of Larry Bird and Magic, they were great players, but what they did for the league is something nobody had ever done.
Dang, man.
People ain't care about no NBA before them. So that's why oftentimes you'll have, your Wilt Chamberlains and your Bill Russells and all of those guys being ignored in terms of how great they were, even though we understood what the accolades component. But it's because the league wasn't something to watch when they played.
Yeah.
So when we say they played against like plumbers and farmers and milkmen and stuff like that, because that's exactly the caliber of players they was playing against.
No, that's a fact. That's a fact.
It's just what the truth is now.
The NBA, when it was the NBA and the ABA, the NBA was like the replacements. It was it was, Dr. J and all of them, the real hoopers, the Showtime, like before there was the LA Lake show, Showtime, that was the ABA. Like every team was the Lake show. Every team was Showtime. Whatever, until they did that merger. And then it gradually came around in the NBA a little bit. But I mean, basketball was like what would you say? Like football was number one in America. But then baseball. I'm sorry, baseball was number one in America. Then football, then basketball. So you talking about third? Like folks wasn't messing with basketball like that on a TV.
It's still third, but it's a different type of third now.
It's most definitely a different type of third. And I don't even consider NBA as third nowadays. I feel like baseball has been on a decline, especially because say that again.
After the PE scandals and whatnot.
Well, yeah, but then also as well, not a lot of Americans play baseball like we used to.
Oh, that's true.
It's you baseball has literally turned into Puerto Rico and Havana, and like, no, I'm dead serious. Like that's what it's really turned into. Like you don't have your Johnnies from Detroit or or Cincinnati or whatever. You don't have that.
And that's what these kids need to be learning to play some damn baseball.
No, it's a fact.
That's guaranteed money out the gate. They looking for American players to come in and do their thing, man. And it's a lot of money in baseball. Like
it's too much money in baseball.
This $100 million and $200 million in the NBA is big money. They'll give you that from the start. You ain't even got to do your rookie contract.
That's a fact. And talk about getting hurt in baseball. Come on, man. Like you playing baseball. Well, the only thing about baseball though that I don't like is that baseball they play like every day for 5 months, and we talking about in the summertime, the heat.
Like games, ain't it?
Yeah. And then you ain't even talking about playoffs.
So per game, basically, they make over 6 figures per game for sure.
Yeah. Yep. Right. Yep. And sometimes you don't even play.
Right.
Sometimes you don't even play. Like don't be a DH.
Damn.
Don't let you be a pitcher, a relief pitcher. You may not play a whole series. We don't need you this series. We need you next series. Okay, cool. I'm getting paid, right? Yep.
Damn.
I'm gonna go back in the in the locker room and eat that spread.
Right. I noticed ain't nobody touched them cheese and crackers from earlier.
I'm just saying, like
handle that.
I used to when I was a teenager in high school, I used to work for the Brewers. And I used to work I used to work as a bad boy ball boy. Man, you talk about the spread they put out for the players every game. Man, Grey Poupon every day, bro. Like, yo,
Grey Poupon.
I'm talking about, bruh.
Did.
The food used to be crazy every day, man, and it wasn't. Obviously they ain't pay for it. It was just,
Dang.
you know what I'm saying. So nah, baseball most definitely is the way to go. It's a boring sport.
It is very much so. Yeah.
It's,
Like
it's,
if you at the game, it can be an experience, but
it's a
on TV,
boring sport to watch on TV. It's a boring sport to
right.
watch on TV.
Yeah, yeah.
And once again, you may not play.
Yeah.
Whatever like that. Like if you playing basketball and football and stuff like that, it's a contact sport. You playing consistently the whole game, stuff like that or whatever. But if you
Mhm.
playing baseball, you may not play or whatever. So that's what these kids they don't get into it because their attention span is so short
Right.
these days or whatever. They don't get into it. And the glitz and glamour is in basketball and football.
That's true. You don't really see like cool baseball players like that since probably Ken Griffey. I
Yeah,
was probably the coolest baseball player we ever witnessed. That was at least that was black.
yeah. You don't see nobody like Gronkowski playing baseball after winning a game, drinking beers and all that, what I'm saying, going to the
Right.
club, and
Yeah,
all that. You don't see that in baseball.
that's true. I don't know what do them dudes be doing. Like they just be minding their business. I guess I don't know.
Man, collecting that
For real,
700.
they got bags.
Yeah,
Like
seriously, they be signing for like 300. And CC Sebastian, he used to get that stupid money, man. Like just to be a pitcher, a star pitcher, and you may not play.
yeah, it's basically free money.
$400 million, $500 million contracts. Like
And then
that's
when
crazy.
you play though, when you play, you ain't even sweating.
No, well, it be hot. It be hot out there on that field. It be hot. Don't get it
In
twisted.
the summer, yeah, but just from standing there in the heat. But I mean,
Yeah.
like from actually playing,
What if a ball? What
from playing.
you can play a whole game and the ball may not even get hit to you.
That's what I'm saying. You can literally stand. You can stand at the game all day like this and make $1 million. That
Man,
night, that night, make $1 million.
I'm trying to tell you, man. I'm trying to tell you.
Shit.
Baseball. I'm trying to tell you, man. Don't be a manager or something like that. You just sit in the dugout all game.
Right.
Come
Shit, I
on,
mean, what
man.
plays you calling? Like, you know?
Baseball players, they get that bread, man. They get that bread for real.
Yeah. But yeah, this says that the Latrell Sprewell made over 100 million and he has no house.
Yep.
That's fucked up.
Yep, that's a fact. That's a fact. I saw it right here on January 31st, 2007. Spreewell's longtime companion sued him for $200 million for ending their relationship agreement. She claims Spreewell agreed to support her and their 4 children through college. He always been behind on child support. Or even when he was in the league, he was behind on child support, well over $1 million.
Wow. That is crazy.
And he's straight homeless. I remember this 2007. Spreewell's yacht was repossessed by the federal marshals. I remember that. Yep. He had failed to continue paying for and insuring the vessel, for which he reported still owed approximately $1.3 million. In February 2008, the yacht was auctioned off for 850 grand after Spreewell defaulted on the mortgage.
Damn. It says
And
his total net worth is $50,000.
I don't even think it's 50,000 to be honest with you.
Probably not. Where would it come from? They don't have a pension in the league.
Exactly.
That's
Which I do know that they have been trying to work on that with the CBA, but owners ain't doing that. Owners is not doing that.
they don't do a pension. They need to do like something that will just something like workshop or something, some sort of workshop or some sort of like a trust. Like when they sign a rookie contract or something, make it like an automatic trust for a certain percentage of it or something, or the whole rookie contract just in general. Put it in a trust, and then going forward, when they sign, they re-sign because it's only 2 years. Your rookie contract is only 2 years, so why not put it in a trust, bank it? Mama can wait on that house that you've been promising her. She can wait 2 years. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Bank that. Let it grow for you. Let it work for you.
So and that's it, and they just started now, mind you. One thing that they have been doing, it's been a gradual process. Remember, they didn't used to have workshops like rookie workshops before you even get drafted about um budgeting your money.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't used to have that. Nowadays, they do that before you even hit the league. They have these workshops and they make these kids go to this stuff. Which they do in the Columbine and different things like that or whatever. They have these other players, if it's current players or if it's OG players,
Mm-hmm.
where they come in and they talk about money management. They talk about media training and different things like that or whatever. They did not used to have that back in the day.
Right.
You just when hopefully your agent puts you on to some stuff. Hopefully.
Mm-hmm. Which clearly that wasn't the case with a lot of these guys, because a lot of who we talking about, those was 90s draft picks.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So just saying.
Because if you come from nothing and you get all this money, well, once again, we even talking about Kevin Garnett. Kevin Garnett career was long or whatever, but he ended up losing a gang of bread just off his divorce alone.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whatever. Now he ain't broke,
Oh, by any stretch.
but
And
he,
he's still
but
working too. He makes TV money now too. So
yeah, exactly. But I'm saying as far as his whole career for the money that he made as a total, we
mm-hmm.
just looked at it. He
Mm-hmm.
lost over half of that. What did he make? He made like over $326 million for his whole career.
Yeah.
He gave over half of that to his wife,
Yeah.
his now ex-wife recently.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. So that that's crazy to look back on it or whatever. Now, I mean, he ain't hurting. He's still a well over $100 million man. But
Right.
think about it, and it's like Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's a big chunk to to lose like in that way for sure. And I'm sure it came out in lump sums
Hmm.
in a
That's a
certain
fact.
period of time, if not at one time. So
Can you even imagine? Can you even imagine if Kobe and his wife, like his wife, actually left him
hmm
after the whole Denver thing? How much money he'd be out?
oh my God. She's been set either way.
Oh,
Damn.
regardless. I
Ooh.
was, I was looking on. Somebody had posted on Facebook yesterday, and they tagged me in it. And they were like, man, why they ain't talking about Juanita in the Last Dance? They need to free Juanita. Why they ain't talking about Juanita?
Yeah,
I'm like,
I don't want them to talk about Juanita, trust me.
but
Yeah.
the thing is though, when have you ever seen Juanita in anything? So why would you think you would see her in something now? You've never seen her.
Exactly.
You've
I
never seen
guess
her.
in the moments when he was with his sons, they did show him with his sons a couple times. So
Right.
maybe they were thinking she would pop up in those clips here and there or something. I don't know. He called her a couple times. They showed him calling. I'm talking to her on the phone.
Yeah, it ain't no reason why they still not cool to this day or whatever like that. They have no reason to be, obviously, because they both moved on. But when their divorce went in, she got all the houses and the cars and $170 million.
She got a nice bucket and she invested. So she's actually doing more well without him than she was with him.
Yeah,
She has real estate now. Like Juanita is self-made now, based
yeah.
on that little seed that he gave her, which was not a little seed, by the way.
No, not at all. $170 million, $70 million plus the house and all his cars.
Right. She made it work for her in a way in which there won't be a run out of money sort of situation.
And
So
let's not get it twisted. $170 million is that's I ain't gonna call it chump change for Michael Jordan when they were when they divorced,
mm,
but she obviously was not trying to take everything from him
right.
if they agreed on $170 million because he's even at that time when they divorced, well worth more than that.
Absolutely.
That's not even half.
Right.
So she was just like, I just need something just to take care of the kids and me to be, still
Yeah.
living like I've always been living.
Right. So I can set myself up for success.
Yeah, exactly. So
I saw some special. I don't know how I stumbled upon it, but yeah, she got her own real estate firm and everything now, so she good.
right.
Lamar said, did y'all hear that the colorways to the Jays had changed because she owned half the names?
Oh, I don't know about that.
Well, my take on this is, well, first off, I didn't hear about that, but secondly, I thought the names was something that was an after the fact situation. Jordans didn't have names when they first launched.
They didn't.
Okay. So
They
I'm
didn't.
not sure what he means by that.
Because I don't remember specifically when they divorced, but he was still playing when they divorced, and they didn't have names.
Yeah. So you might. I don't know if you want to specify liars, but when all of the pretty much all of the OGJs that we know of that he actually wore, they didn't have names. So
Michael Jordan's divorce was December 29th, 2006.
damn.
Yeah, I thought it was earlier than that. NBA champion paid approximately $168 million to Juanita.
How many?
168 million. I thought it was 170, but it's 168 approximately.
Same thing. Shit. Same
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Oh, he said the actual
Oh,
color, like gym red and varsity red.
oh, okay.
I don't know. I mean, they just launched some gym red ones last year, so I don't know.
Yeah. Well, actually, technically, it's still 170 mil cube. Approximately 168 mil went in our pocket. $2.1 million went to legal fees. So it's still 170 mil.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, that's a nice little takeout. I'll be perfectly fine. Like, see you later. Enjoy.
Mhm.
I'm good. I ain't gotta listen. If I'm still eating, my kids is good. We got a house over, got a roof. But she did more with it though. So that was good for her. I guess, because they went to college together or something, right? So that's where they met, if I'm not mistaken. Either that or they from
Him and Juanita?
yeah. They either went to college together or they from the same.
Something like
Oh no,
that.
she's from Chicago. My bad. She's actually
Yeah.
from Chicago.
Yeah, they didn't actually get together until like season 4 or something like that.
Okay. So he met her here then.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess that's a a story tale or fairy tale is that they've put it out there where it's like, oh yeah, they're college sweethearts, and no, that's not the case. It's
Right.
like,
Yeah, because I was thinking, because I wouldn't have even known that if it was if I didn't stumble upon that special I told you about.
mm-hmm.
I didn't know she was from here.
Yeah, yep.
So, but no man, listen. He was with a sister for he tried. He was with a sister for a minute.
No, that's a fact. And his wife that he got now, she way younger than him. So
I saw that too. Do they have a kid?
they got twins.
Damn.
Yeah, they got twins.
60-year-old with twins. All right, do your thing, Mike.
Yeah, they young baby twins too. They not well, I ain't gonna say baby twins because they ain't babies no more, but they like man, I think his twins are like 3 or something like that, 4, 3 or something like that.
It's so unfair being the seed of somebody like that with that kind of stature. It's like it's not fair. Being
Nah, that's a fact.
being Michael Jordan's kid is unfair. Like being Michael Jackson's kid, like those sorts of figures in the world, like it's just unfair. Like you will never be as great, like in anything you do ever.
Mm-hmm.
Like why even give it your best shot? Because I know both his sons tried to play ball, didn't work out.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, they you know what though? I give it to them because they both was able to play college ball. You know, whatever. They just didn't make it to the NBA. But once again, just like we talked about, there's only 30 there's only 30 jobs a year, basically.
Mm-hmm.
You know, whatever, 32 jobs a year, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then not all 32, not all 30 of those jobs are guaranteed,
Right.
whatever like that. So they still was able to make it in what they love to do, um with getting into their dad, like going up under their dad and making their own businesses, you know what I'm saying, with Jordan Brand and different things like that, with Trophy Room, Marcus with Trophy Room.
Right.
I forget what the other one does.
That's after the fact, though. He probably had,
Well,
had
yeah.
to scramble for that idea, but I'm sure originally he was trying to follow in his dad's footsteps from
Yeah, of course.
emotionally speaking.
Yeah, of course. I'm pretty sure both of them most definitely want to play ball, but the reality, but the reality is, you know what I'm saying, once it came down to it,
The microscope too, I think, has a lot to do with that. Because you think about it, if you're the son of somebody with that kind of stature
mm-hmm.
and you're not nearly as good,
Yeah.
You're not even going to be looked at as an average player.
I mean, you gotta be something on like once again like a Dale Curry, Seth Curry
Mm-hmm.
situation. You know what I'm saying?
Steph Curry.
Cause Seth don't even get no love, and Seth shoots just as good, if not better, than his brother.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
his brother gets more limelight and is MVPs on stuff, championships or whatever stuff like that or whatever. But he's the older brother.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
know, you can put Seth in the same situation, and I bet you he would flourish just the same. Just like how he does for the with the Mavs and the Blazers. They get that from their daddy. Their daddy was a shooter, but he wasn't a. That's what he was though. He was just a shooter.
Right. And Steph just happened to be, he just happened to get some success.
Right, right. After that, because if you think about it, yeah, he had the success at Davidson, but once he came to the league, he was projected not to be who he is now. There was
Absolutely.
no organization that looked at him and said he was going to be a superstar.
Right. Yep.
They all looked at him like he was going to be Seth.
Right. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. He just happened to have some success. You know what I'm saying? And he started off with them injuries as well, so that didn't help.
Matter of fact, the Bucks were supposed to get Steph, but he had the injury situation because they were remember they had a what's dude name, man, who what was dude name that they had before Steph got there, and he was
Mo Ellis.
uh yeah,
Mo Ellis.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I remember
yeah.
they traded him to the Pacers, I think, after he left there.
He was with the Bucks. He was a ball. He could ball,
Yeah,
man. But
what
then
happened to him, man?
they gave the
He was a
obviously,
dog.
obviously the Warriors saw something because they was like, no, we're gonna keep Steph and we're gonna let you go.
Mo Ellis was balling for them though. Like
He went to the Pacers and he balled for the
right.
Pacers a little
That's
bit,
what
but
I'm
then he
saying.
died out. Yeah, but then he
Right.
died out.
Like, where is he? Where did he go? Like, what happened?
Oh
He was on his way.
yeah, I have no idea. But most definitely, is like that's the only comparison that I can think of when it comes to your daddy was in the league, and then you got well, I guess Klay Thompson too, because that's a better situation because Klay Thompson daddy was a beast for the Lakers.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And that worked out with that situation, father
That's
son.
a major age difference though too. That's a major age difference.
Yeah.
You talking about your daddy was hooping in the '80s, and then you came in the early 2000s.
Ooh.
That's a serious. That's 2 decades.
And that's also that's the era he learned from too. He had to learn the game from his dad, I'm
Yeah,
sure. So,
yeah.
it's a level of toughness that comes with that. Don't let the light skin fool you.
No, that's a fact. Your daddy ain't light skinned though, but yeah.
Well, you know how that blend happens.
Yeah, 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 exactly,
That's all that is.
exactly. Shoot.
But yeah, man.
Hey, well, I guess we didn't hit that too. Well, we went past that too, Mark. Well, not for you, because you had that money call you had to do. You know,
Oh, yeah. And because we all virtual now, so we trying to work that part out because we doing the local competition May 30th. So we
May
got
30th.
so we got to know how to navigate virtually, and make it work.
Hey, so quick question before we get out of here. Y'all got the local competition May 30th.
Yeah.
How are y'all gonna do it after local? Because once it's local, then y'all go region, right?
National was supposed to be in Boston in July, but it's officially announced this week. They announced it. It's
I
post
thought it was local, then it was state or region or something like that. Y'all just going straight nationals?
go straight to national. But that's the students that win gold locally.
Oh, I got you. Okay, okay, okay.
So the students that win gold locally get to go on the national stage. So yeah, so that's postponed. Probably gonna end up doing nationals virtually too, and that's gonna be hell because we talk about kids from all over the country.
Yeah.
I don't know how that's gonna work. I don't know. I don't know.
But I hope that internet right. Hope you ain't got that $1.99 coffee with the phone internet, boy.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know what the plan gonna be, but they saying we are still doing nationals as of right now. We are. So I don't know what the plan is though. So we'll see.
Oh man. Hey, well, more power to you. I hope y'all just keep me posted, man. I hope that works out because I know that's it's trying time, especially when you're trying to figure that out right now. When you used to doing something a certain way for eons,
Right.
whatever. So,
None,
I'm most
none of
definitely
us
interested in
ever
that.
wrote this. We could have never wrote this to happen. Like
Heck no.
no storybook could ever helped us imagine this type of shit. So, but yeah,
Uh, most definitely. All right, well, man, we appreciate y'all coming through tonight, man. We know it was a slow motion with the potion night tonight. Um Everybody wasn't able to come through tonight. Shout out to Caddy, man. Caddy about to have that baby like any second.
yes.
Like any second now. So shout out to Caddy, man, and his wife on the brand new baby that's about to be here any second. He
Mhm.
probably having a baby right now.
Could be in his hands right now talking
Hey,
about
hey, that's a fact. I think he would have hit me up. I think he would have hit me up by now about the cigar session virtually. We would have been social distancing with the cigars right now. Like, you know what I'm saying? But
Absolutely. But yeah,
hey,
we excited for him.
hey, that's a fact. Most definitely excited, man. So hey, appreciate everybody coming through tonight, man. Shout out to Rick, man. R Lamar Clothing. Make sure you guys check out Rick on Instagram, which is R Lamar Clothing. His website, to his brand, to his clothing brand is rlamarclothing.com. Um, very, very good dude. He does not show much at all whatsoever. So him actually getting out virtually, doing different things like lives and stuff like that, I'm actually surprised about because he's very much on the low. Even with his brand, even with his business, he has a lot of high profile clients that used to play for the Tar Heels or that still play for the Tar Heels,
Mhm.
or whatever. So make sure y'all check him out. Man, make sure y'all check out Q's YouTube channel. She be dropping them bangers like every day. I don't know. I don't know how she's able to do that. I can't do it. But
I gotta plan my week out now for that. So yeah.
hey, good luck with that. I can't. I try the best I can. I did drop a banger today. Q. Hold on. Let me tell you this before we get off. It took me literally all day to shoot that video I dropped today.
Oh wow, I gotta go look at that then. You put in some work.
I put in some serious work, but I've been working on some other things YouTube wise. But not for myself, but helping out on some other things for other people's, like locally or whatever. For example, like my church and stuff like that or whatever. But um, man, it took me all day to shoot it. Now
Mm.
we living in this pandemic time right now, or whatever. So like niggas at the crib, but so I can adjust time to make that happen or whatever like that.
Right.
But think about it if, what I'm saying, we wasn't living in this fan. I don't be having the time like that or whatever. I try to do the best that I can, but
No,
uh
I'm with you. I'm already thinking like as soon as stuff go back to normal, like it's gonna be. I'm trying to create a system now so that when things go back to normal, I can kind of like integrate like
yeah,
in
yeah,
things. So, but yeah, I mean, I had to cancel quite a bit for because of all of this too. So
yeah,
I had some projects I was working on prior to. Can't do shit because I can't be with nobody. You know what
exactly,
I'm
exactly.
saying?
And I'm used to it. Well, see, okay, well, a lot of things I don't shoot myself though. Like, like I have the homie that shoots half my videos for me or whatever like that. So that's also like a help out situation. But
Mhm.
now with this situation, yeah, I don't have the homie being able to shoot. Social distancing, my brother. You stay
Right.
home.
Certain things is really tough to shoot on your own, man. Like
Yeah,
so far, everything I've done has been on my own. But just imagine once I'm able to utilize the people that have offered to help me
yeah.
stuff. Like when I can actually implement that shit,
hmm
it's a wrap. So
Sneaker pics. I haven't shot a sneaker pic, promo pics for the business,
mhm.
anything like that. I have not been able to manage that since February, the end of February, beginning of March.
Damn.
Because when did this jump out? At the end of March? It jumped off at the end of March.
Yeah, official.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so I ain't been able to get no product placement, business, advertisement shots, nothing, anything new, whatever. Like because first of all, we got nobody to put the stuff on. You got even if it's for myself, like my photographer, which is shout out to Andy Diaz, the best photographer, sneaker photographer in the game, whatever. It's like, yeah, you stay
Right, you stay over there. Over there.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh, well, I can still shoot the sneaker pic from 6 feet away.
Yeah.
I still need to see it after you get done, though, right? No.
Exactly. Right. And for me, like, I have all the equipment. All I need to do is just put it in somebody else's hands. You know, but if they don't have the equipment, of course. But
can you put it in somebody else's hand when it's a pandemic? No.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's like, don't touch my stuff. Get out of here.
Yeah, exactly. But long story short, make sure you guys check out my brand new video that I dropped today. It's an early review on the Royal Toe ones. Put a lot of work into it. And I did it all myself or whatever. So if you've seen any of my other videos, my videos always get better with time or whatever like that. So make sure y'all check it out. And that should be for anybody, whatever you do, like, what I'm saying, especially when it comes to YouTube, you should always want to do better than your last video. You should always want to do better than your last project. You should always want to do better than your last whatever you done did. So most definitely check that out. Very much appreciate it. Make sure you're I don't even know what's up with IBA tonight.
I'm playing Squirrel.
I don't know what's up with IBA tonight. He been very quiet today, man.
He over there staying woke.
Well, we gonna. I think he very much sleep today. I don't know what's going on in there.
Oh, sheesh.
Anyway, shout out to V, man. Shout out to V. And we're gonna go ahead and get out of here, man. I'll talk to y'all later. Q, I'm gonna hit you up on the phone though.
All right, then.
All right.
Peace.